Alright, here we go. Alright. Alright, you guys can see me. Yo, what up everyone? Welcome back to my Twitch, Kick, Discord, not Discord, but Rumble and YouTube channels. This is gonna be a new format of streaming. This is gonna be like a podcast type, like whatever. Anyways, title of this video is Steam or Valve will dominate. Alright, so let us I have Valve's freaking just shadow dropped Steam hardware announcement, and we're gonna watch it. Uh Already pre-watched it. Just letting you guys know, I pre-watched it, but let's watch it together. Look at this crap. Alright, you guys can't see it. This thing already has, it's been less than a day, 13 hours. It's already at 2 million, over 2 million views. Alright, let's watch this.
Hey everyone, this is Steam Deck. Steam Deck is our powerful, portable, handheld gaming PC that lets you take your Steam library with you anywhere. We're pretty proud of it. People who own Steam Decks have been playing everywhere, and we couldn't be happier with the response we've heard from all of you. We're excited to talk about the future of Steam Deck, but not today, because this isn't a video about the future of Steam Deck. This is a video about the future of Steam hardware. Today, we're announcing 3 new members of the Steam hardware lineup. All connect you with powerful PC gaming. All are optimized for gaming with Steam, and all are shipping in early 2026. Let's start with this one. This is the new Steam controller. The new Steam controller puts all of your Steam games at your fingertips, so you can play wherever and however you want. Just like with Steam Deck, we want you to be able to play any game with your Steam controller, even games never built with a controller in mind. It has all the great features from Steam Deck, like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons, all in a comfortable form factor. Like even games never built with a controller
Pause right there
in
real
mind.
quick.
It has all the great features from Steam Deck.
So it has dual trackpads, just like the Steam Deck. I used to have the old Steam controller back when the Steam machine was out. The old ass technology that allowed you to use like Steam Link connected to your TV and like vice versa. Basically, be able to play your Steam games on the TV. Anyways, it was a long ass time ago. Let's see. This has dual trackpads, HD haptics, gyro, grip buttons, full size controls, CapSense thumbsticks, and the Steam button. I'm not sure it's gonna be that ergonomic, but I don't know. I'll probably purchase it myself just to see how it is. I do like the pads. The haptic feedback is good on the Steam Deck. I have the Steam Deck over there, and I bought actually 3 remotes so I could be able to like play my video games, emulate, as well as my Steam library games, but emulate on my Steam Deck and play a bunch of games, a bunch of old nostalgia games, be it Xbox, GameCube, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 3, etc. There's some games in my YouTube channel playlist. Currently, let's see, I'm playing The Witcher 3 because I never actually went too far. I never completed it. Plus, I'm playing The Witcher 3 because the story is fucking awesome. And I've seen the first season of The Witcher, but after they took Henry Cavill out, I stopped watching it. I already knew it was a bunch of bullshit. I'm not watching it. I'd rather play the video game. And I suggest you guys play the video game or watch the gameplay, at least the story mode. Um, and if you want to watch my gameplay, it's on my YouTube. You don't have to watch it, but I suggest you do. Story, at least the story mode. Look for it on YouTube's good story. Way better than watching Netflix. Anyways, what is the other game that I'm currently playing? I did play 1 hour of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, so I gotta get back on that. But The Witcher 3 got me hooked right now, and I did download the ROM or install the Xbox ROM of the OG Call of Duty Finest Hour that I never got to play. When I did get to play Big Red 1, and I think I got to play the third one when it was on the PlayStation, but I forgot. I'm just gonna play it again because all these new games, they just suck, or they're too expensive for, like, it's not worth the money. It's really not. And all these games that are like coming out brand new that are over $50, completely waste of money. Even the ones that are worth it, I don't think you should be spending more than $50 for a brand new game. Now, if it's tried and true and it has them thumbs up, mostly positive on Steam, then I'll probably think about purchasing those. But it's all I'm actually gonna start. If I do think of purchasing any video games, I have a backlog of video games that I haven't completed, so I'm gonna hopefully keep myself from purchasing any more. But if instead of purchasing a brand new game that is, I don't know, that you're probably gonna purchase just to see if it's gonna be good. Like, if you're not sure that it's gonna be good, all right, and these developers don't have a track record that has earned your fucking your trust, do not spend that much money. Instead of spending $50 on one game, buy 5 games for $10 or below. Buy even more games. These indie games are actually, they look pretty good. I've seen YouTube videos of like Megabonk. All these other games are doing so well with a smaller group of people, smaller group of developers. And actually, on a side note, because I'm trying to be a computer engineer, it's making me want to go into the game development path. At least on the side, I want to try to learn how to create my own video games, just for the fuck of it, just for the fun, and eh, maybe I'll make some money. If not, then hey. Anyways, that's a big ass tangent. Learn to emulate games on your Steam Deck or your PC, okay, be it Windows. Another thing, get rid of Windows. Get rid of Windows. Do not pay $300 or whatever, $200 for Windows fucking, 11? Just get Linux. Get any distro. I got Arch Linux. It was a bitch to install, but that was my fault because I chose the manual install. I just wanted to suffer through it, but I got Arch Linux, KDE Plasma 6, which is like kind of similar to Windows. If you guys are used to that, Ubuntu would be for, I guess, if you want like a Mac OS type of environment, something that you guys are somewhat familiar with. Either way, it's free. Learn how to do it. Use AI, Google. Learn how to do this stuff right now. Save money. And, yeah, fuck Microsoft. Fuck all these other companies that are failing us. Anyways, back to the video. Enough of that tangent.
Like trackpads, gyro, and back buttons, all in a comfortable form factor. Its next generation magnetic thumbsticks let you play with improved responsiveness and longevity. We've put capacitive touch sensors on the thumbsticks and now on the back of the controller too, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb or your pinky.
Let's go back. Alright, so it has buttons in the back. Now, if you guys get, like, I have some Xbox remote controls in the back too. I don't use them. Whatever. Anyways, they don't have those extra buttons and stuff. In order to get like this kind of functionality, you guys have to either, if you want to stay with Xbox or PlayStation, I don't know too much about the PlayStation Dual Sense remotes or whatever the fuck they're called, but to get the Elite Xbox remote controls, they have like the back pedals and stuff. you had to spend a shit ton of money. I purchased again, like I didn't complete my sentence. Before I bought three different remote controls. One of them is the uh, FlyDigi X20. Um, oh no, FlyDigi the Vader 4 Pro. I'm getting the brands mixed up. I also got the SMX X20, and I got the 8-bit Doe wireless, whatever. I got three remotes so I could like switch back and forth. They all have a lot more functionality than the OEM fucking Xbox remote controls. They all have either gyro. I'm pretty sure they all have gyro. Yeah, they all have gyro. They all have like the back buttons. At least some extra buttons in the back. Two of the remotes have like these these switches that you put so you guys can, if you guys play first person shooter games, it like makes it a lot easier to press the actual button, and you don't have to go all the way back. I forgot what you call that, but you don't have, it locks it. Thumb button locks, I think so. Yeah, button locks, whatever. For the trigger locks, there we go. Trigger locks on both sides, so you guys can first person shooter, quickly shoot people, or take it off so it's like normal. It depends on your guys' preferences. Some of the thumbsticks, they come off, they twist off, they extend outwards. So depending on your guys' hand, if you guys have small hands, I got big hands. They're skinny but big, long. I mean, anyway, yeah, there's a variety of remote controls that are either equal in value, like how much you're gonna spend, how much it costs for a normal Xbox remote control. You could get a variety of remotes that are way better, have a lot more features, they look cooler. Some of them have RGB. These pretty much they all have some sort of RGB on it. Anyways, whatever. So far, my favorite one is the black Vader 4 Pro. The X20, I do like them too. They both have mechanical buttons, so I'm wondering if this Valve controller will have that too, because it has the same clicky feeling when you press into it, and you can hear it too, but it doesn't bother you. It like, the feedback is awesome. I'm not sure if the Steam controller is gonna have it. The Steam Deck doesn't have it. When you press those buttons, they're like the normal plasticky feel, whatever, of the Xbox remote. Same with the 8-bit Doe, but I don't know. It's different than the Xbox remote and the PlayStation remote, and definitely the Nintendo Switch. Um, let's see, the 8-bit Doe one. I haven't used that one too much, but so far I've been using the Bluetooth function to connect to it. I'm using like the little dongle, the 2.4 gigahertz thing, and connecting it via a hub. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent again. Let's get back to the video.
2, so you can enable precision gyro aiming with the touch of your thumb or your pinky if you're feeling fancy. Play for way too long with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that allows for over 35 hours of playtime. With Steam Controller, we want to...
Now, that is a thing that's different. The Xbox remote, you can like take the batteries out of it and switch it out with AA batteries, or buy the battery packs that you can recharge, and you can basically reload them quicker. Although if you have multiple remotes like I do, then that won't be a problem. If one of them's charging, you can use the other one. For me, it's working out. And if not, then that's just letting me know I gotta take a break from playing video games and do something else. Take a break, go eat, go shower, do something, go work out, lift some weights.
Make charging and wireless pairing something that's actually easy. That's why we created the Puck. The Puck is a combination wireless adapter and magnetic charger included with every Steam controller. Snap it on to charge, Once you're charged up, snap it off again. You can play over Bluetooth or a wired connection too. The new Steam controller works with any device running Steam or Steam Link, whether it's a PC, Mac, handheld, smartphone, Steam Deck, or the new Steam Machine. Oh, this is the new Steam Machine.
So they do call it Steam Machine. Not a console.
Steam Machine is a powerful gaming PC in a small but mighty package, designed for your games on the big screen. It's quiet too.
They need to call it the GameCube. I've seen comments on other YouTubers. They need to call it the GameCube, not GameCube. Okay, Nintendo. Don't even try it. Anyways, GameCube.
Which is crazy, since it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck, powered by a discrete, semi-custom AMD GPU, enabling 4K gaming at 60 frames per second with FSR. Steam Machine runs SteamOS made for a bigger screen, built for gaming in your living room, your office, or wherever you play, with the rest of your PC accessories. Steam Machine borrows some great features from Steam Deck, like light.
SteamOS has fast suspend resume. What is fast suspend and resume? So like the standby mode, just like the Steam Deck. Anyways, whatever. Desktop mode. It better have desktop mode. It's basically a PC. Seamless updates. Oh, that's a new thing. Even with the Steam Deck, now it could like the software allows it to update and stay on when there's an update needed. It'll update and then it'll turn back off. Anyways, notifications. Everything has notifications nowadays. It's again PC. Steam input. It better have it with the Steam OS. So whatever.
Lightning fast sleep and wake.
Now, if you guys have a PC, you guys might not even need this. Just Steam Deck. If you guys don't have one, I recommend you have it. It's a better replacement for a gaming laptop or anything portable. It's a gaming portable gaming PC, basically. I even got rid of my Alienware laptop. It was a 17-inch. That shit cost me like 1,600, 1,800. I gave that shit away to my nephew. He's enjoying it. He whatever. It's gonna help him with school and to be able to play video games with his dad and his uncles. So, whatever's. I spoil my nieces and nephews too. I also gave them like my Quest 2 and stuff. Anyways, whatever.
An SD card slot to easily expand your storage, and bring some new tricks of its own, like a customized to ease.
SD card slot, the Steam Store, okay, that's a given. Cloud save, that's also a given. Friends list, Steam chat, remote play. It's just like a reminder for people who have no clue what SteamOS or Steam has. SD card slot. Okay.
Easily expand your storage, and bring some new tricks of its own, like a customizable LED strip, which can show different system functionalities, or your own light show. Steam Machine is a PC, so run whatever software you want, and it works with all your favorite desktop and gaming accessories. Steam Machine is designed to work hand in hand with the Steam.
So it's like the cooler, stealthier, gamier, freaking Mac Mini, right? That's what it's called, right? The little square Mac Mini PC. Anyways.
Controller with the low latency wireless connectivity of the Steam controller puck built right in. And it's great for streaming your games to your phone, tablet, laptop, Steam Deck, or Steam Frame. Oh, yep. This is Steam Frame. Steam Frame is Valve's next generation VR hardware. Stream all your Steam games, VR and non-VR alike, in this comfortable, lightweight, wireless.
Finally, they have a standalone VR headset. I'm over here with my damn Quest 3 I haven't used in a long while. But I want to. I want to game and also get a workout while I game. But again, I got a backlog. I'll get to it eventually. But this is like, they don't have a black version. Alright? Unless you paint it or customize it. Put like something on it. This shit looks cool. And then if they integrate it, like optimize it, and then, yo, Valve, Steam, the Steam freaking launcher has a shit ton of games. Meta does not have that many games, and not that many good games either. Or the good games that they do have are also on the Steam freaking. You could download them on your PC and then play it. So right now, like, I would play the games that are on Steam, like Skyrim or whatever, and then I'll use my PC hardware to basically play the games and stream it over to here. Even though there's a little lag, it makes it like run better performance, better graphics. This thing doesn't get as hot, plus the battery lasts even longer, even though I have like an extra battery pack thing that's connected to this, so it makes the battery last longer. Now it really lasts long with this setup, the Kiwi whatever freaking battery pack shit. But anyways, if they can, they're gonna own the whole gaming industry. They have everything. They have the handheld gaming console, whatever. All right, just like the Nintendo Switch. They have the Steam machine, which is like a PC. So if the people who do not have a PC, if they could get that Steam machine, I don't know what the price is gonna be on it, but if they could get it to like even $1,000 or below. I know the Xbox, the PlayStation is getting close to $1,000, like 800, whatever, 600 to $800 for the new Xbox Series X, the new PlayStation, and then who knows how much it's gonna cost for the next model. But anyways, the Steam machine, if they could get it to 1,000 and below, because if you build your own gaming PC and you know how to do it, and you could build a good gaming PC for $1,000. That shit will last you a good 5-10 years worth, unless you are not unless you want to optimize it later on in the future and can't help spending, then you're gonna spend and then get upgrades and stuff. But hopefully the Steam machine is upgradable too. That will be another awesome thing to see. But they're gonna knock the PlayStation. I mean, they're already knocked out pretty much the Nintendo Switch on, besides the exclusive, obviously. But Nintendo is really fucking up with their games as well. And emulation, you guys learn how to emulate. Use AI, Google everything. You guys can figure out how to emulate the games you already own and do it legally. Okay, and you guys, it's emulate your games on the Steam Deck or even on your PC. You guys can do it. Learn how to do it. Learn how to do it. Highly recommend. Play those awesome games again.
VR headset. Steam Frame uses camera-based tracking, so getting into your games is as easy as slipping on the headset and waking it up. Steam Frame controllers, included with the headset, are designed with all the inputs you need for your VR titles, like motion controls and capacitive tracking for all your fingers, as well as a split gamepad layout to work with your whole Steam library. They even feature the same magnetic thumbsticks as Steam Controller for responsiveness and longevity. Steam Frame also pairs seamlessly with the new Steam Controller, a great companion for playing non-VR games in the headset. To make sure streaming is smooth and stable no matter what, Steam Frame includes a wireless adapter that lets you stream your games from your PC to your headset over a fast and dedicated Wi-Fi 6 connection. And the game is streamed to your frame optimized for VR, using new technology.
Again, if it's optimized and it's better than connecting the damn MetaQuest using the Steam Link application, I don't know how it works, but it connects via the Wi-Fi network. You have to download it on your PC or your Steam Deck, whatever you're gonna use, that has the Steam app, and then download it as well on the MetaQuest, and then connect it that way. But that dongle, that whatever the receiver, I'm pretty sure it's gonna increase like the lag and like the visual lag that you see. Like I'm if it's worth it, and I see other YouTubers like using it, I might give my MetaQuest away. Like I just bought that shit. It's brand new, and I customized it. I bought stuff for it. I'll give it away to my niece, whatever. That way we can all have a VR headset and we can all play together. That's my excuse, and I can afford it. And you can afford it. Save a little bit of money. Save $5, $10. Save up, save up, save up. You got the quantity. Save a little bit more money until you could buy it twice over at least, and then purchase it. And then hopefully you could get discounts on the Steam store or some shit.
that allows for the highest resolution streaming exactly where your eyes are looking. And Steam Frame is a PC.
SteamOS, fast suspend, resume, desktop mode, seamless updates, SD card, Steam input, same shit
Running
as
Steam
the
OS.
other device.
In addition to streaming, you can install and play a bunch of VR and non-VR games right in the headset without a host PC. You can also expand your onboard storage to fit even more games with a micro SD card.
Something you can't do on the damn MetaQuest. Is there a way to expand? No, there isn't. I got the 512 gigabyte freaking model. I can't. Unless I buy like an external hard drive and then connect it. But then, whatever. I wonder how much storage it's gonna have natively before you even get an SD card, a micro SD card. It's already fucking on paper better than the MetaQuest.
Steam
Great.
Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame. All built with the same DNA as Steam Deck. All powered by Steam, work together, and can be used however you'd like with whatever peripherals and accessories you choose. Everything you see here is the culmination of what we've learned from our previous hardware experience and what we wanted ourselves as gamers. Powerful PC gaming in an open ecosystem, giving you more ways to enjoy the games you love and discover new ones. Steam Controller, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame are all shipping in early 2026. Learn more at steampowered.com/hardware.
Oh, it's not over. Video's not over. Okay. That was nice. If there's a company out there that could do it, I'm pretty sure Steam is gonna be able to do it. It's not that difficult to build a damn PC. They build a PC or console, whatever. It's not a console. Like there's consoles are gonna be fucking like the name is gonna be replaced with I don't know PC, a gaming PC or a couch PC. I don't know whatever. It's a game system for the couch. Oh, Asmongold viewed the video too. Let's check the Steam store. They already have it right here. New Steam hardware, early 2026. Coming soon. Watch the announcement video. Steam hardware family officially expands in early to 2026. Steam controller. I wonder how much it's gonna cost, because okay, the Steam Deck is like the most expensive OLED one that I got is $650, and that already is on par with all the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and obviously it's more cost effective than buying a whole PC just to game or a gaming laptop. So if you already have like a cheap laptop that can, I don't know, search the web, like I'm going to college and stuff. I have a MacBook Air. I don't even want it anymore. I'll probably, because I know eventually it's gonna get like planned obsolete with that word obsolete. It's gonna be obsolete eventually because you can't customize, you can't upgrade it, and then Apple's gonna force me to want to replace it anyways later on in the future, and I want to get a framework laptop because it seems cool. I don't even need a laptop. I got this gaming PC that I built myself, and I got the Steam Deck. What else do I want? I just want it just because it's cool. I don't really need it, but again, my excuse is always I could give it to my nieces and nephews. Everyone could have something, and then I could get something new and shiny. Powered by Steam, optimized for gaming in any form. And just like the Steam Deck, all designed to help players get even more out of the Steam library. Alright, more ways to get rid of my backlog. Steam Deck is really helping me out. Again, you guys check my playlist. I'm playing all these games that I have currently in my library. Um, I just haven't had the time to do it because of college and work and all the bunch of stuff. Okay, bunch of stuff, and I was like, I would have probably never been attacking my backlog, like I haven't even live streamed in like a month and a half because I've been so busy, and I've been reading a lot of textbook. Anyways, that's gonna be a whole new subject, a whole new playlist on why I know, and yeah, a lot of people already know this, but college is a scam if you go for the wrong reasons. That's gonna be a whole new topic. Let's stick with the Steam Deck hardware. The Steam Control. I already have 3 remotes, but the more the merrier. If the price for those remotes, each one was like 60, 65, or $55. So if that Steam remote, if they sell it for, that would be. They need to have that included with the Steam machine. First of all, and the Steam controller, they need to sell it for something a little bit cheap, just a little smidge cheaper than the PlayStation remotes and the Xbox remotes, and they'll constantly be selling, just like they did with the Steam Deck. All right, they can do it. They're really, I believe they're gonna knock the competition out, or not knock them out, but make them work for it. Like all these like Microsoft, Sony, right? Sony owns PlayStation, Nintendo. It's gonna keep them on their toes, and like that competition between these companies are gonna make them stay in line and stop being consumer against consumers. What do you call that? Not consumer friendly, because they're not right now, and a lot of us feel it. A lot of us know it. Not not feel. It's fact. The Steam machine. Again, they sell it for $1,000. Now they're saying you can play 4K games at 60 frames per second. Okay, the PC that I have can do that with 1440p gaming, which is 2K. Um, and not all the time 60 frames per second, but actually, yeah, most of the time 60 frames per second. But if I put like 4K ultra settings, it'll go below 60. Um, Depending on the game, but it'll be below 60 frames per second if I put it to that resolution. Um, let's see, and I spent like $1,500 to build my own PC. Like, when was that? 6 years ago. This thing is gonna last me even longer now that I have Arch Linux or Linux and not Windows on it. So this is gonna last me even longer. Uh, fuck. Yeah, $1,000 or less than $1,000 to sell it for the same as a Steam Deck or as an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. Everyone's gonna want to get the Steam Deck or the Steam machine because it's not gonna close you off like PlayStation does or Nintendo does. All right, like they these game developers, unless they're like completely owned by like Nintendo or whatever, they need to have their video games on available on every fucking device so they can make the most money possible. If that's their goal as a business, they'll make more money if it's on more devices. Xbox was they fucked up. They're fucking up again, but their idea of having like cloud gaming and like all their games available on Xbox and all that stuff, more availability was a good consumer friendly thing to do, but read up on what's happening right now with Microsoft. They're fucking up again. Fucking horrible leadership. Anyways, the Steam Frame. Again, I purchased the Quest 3 for 500 to 550 bucks. So if it's around the same price as the Quest, then they're gonna do great. All right. If they keep those prices at the same cost as their competition or a little bit below, they're gonna do great. Everyone knows that if they want to play as many good games as possible, they're gonna choose the Steam launcher over, or the platform, whatever you call it, over Epic, over anything else. Okay, that's the first thing anyone ever mentions when it comes to PC gaming. Anyways, Steam. All right, we're besties. We may be new, but it's like we've known each other our whole lives. All Steam hardware works great together, whether you're streaming or playing games across devices, including the Steam Deck. And because Valve remains committed to an open PC ecosystem, we also play well with others, as in your other devices. Consumer friendly. You're gonna get more business, more consumers that way, right? I just don't know how the hardware is gonna compare to the Quest 3. If it's not as good as the Quest 2 yet, then I'll probably wait for the next one. The Steam Deck is what I didn't need, but I really wanted, and I can't justify replacing the Quest 3 unless it really is better than if this, what is it called? The Steam Frame is better than the Quest 3. Maybe I'll replace it. Maybe not right now, but if anyone could do it, Valve, don't quit, man. Don't quit. We all want you guys to succeed, and this PC, like, I know how to build my own gaming PC, so I'm not gonna get a Steam machine. Maybe I'll get for my nieces and nephews for their Christmas, birthday presents, whatever. I don't know. We are made for Steam and Steam OS. We're made, okay, same shit. It says all of our hardware is Steam first and built to work seamlessly with Steam. That part right there is making me think more like, you know what, it's kind of iffy on other devices. When it's all under the same banner, all the devices are from the same, I don't know if optimized, like Apple knows how to do it right with their devices. They know how to like keep you imprison you in their ecosystem. They're good for a reason, right? And it's nice, simple, and easy and smooth, yada yada. Although boring, to be honest, Apple. If they could do that the same way with their ecosystem as like these Samsung ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem. What does Microsoft do other than like in the gaming industry, other than the Xbox and the cloud gaming and stuff, which they're fucking up because of the price, and not only that, they don't have enough. They don't have a good library that would justify spending that month $30 or whatever fucking monthly. Just purchase the game, you could play it forever on Steam. Okay, just you get it on there, unless they. I'm pretty sure you can still keep the games if you purchase it on Steam, and let's say the developer they kill the game or whatever. I've asked ChatGPT. Maybe ChatGPT was wrong, but apparently you'll still be able to play it even after they kill the game. It's just like people who purchase the game what after let's say they don't own it and they kill it, those people are not going to be grandfathered in. The ones that purchased it before, they're still going to be able to play it offline, re-download it, yada yada. I haven't done my due diligence or research on my own. Hopefully ChatGPT was correct on that. That would be an awesome thing. But again, I'm losing my train of thought here. All right. All of hardware is Steam first, built to work seamlessly with Steam. Steam Deck, Steam Machine, and Steam Frame all run Steam OS. Valve's operating system operates for gaming. It's designed to provide a plug-and-play user experience while still retaining access to the power and flexibility of a PC Master Race. Ahead of launch, we are expanding our Deck Verified program. Yes! To include ratings for Steam Machine and Steam Frame. Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna like put more effort to trying to test out more games and see if it's legit able to be played on the Steam Deck. Because a lot of those games you can still play it with the remote control and totally play it on the Steam Deck. So they just don't have the green check mark. Try it out you guys selves, or whichever games you guys have, you guys will find out. If it works with a Xbox remote, it works with the Steam Deck. Ahead of the launch, we expanding our Deck Verified program to include ratings for Steam Machine and Steam Frame, so customers can understand how their games will run on these new devices. Learn more. All right, I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna again keep the competition on their toes and hopefully make them more consumer friendly. Now let's go back to YouTube, because there's I'm not one of these YouTubers that get free products to review and shit yet. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I don't have the following to be able to receive stuff to review. Let's see, where am I at? I'm almost to 1,000, you guys. Help help a fellow YouTuber out. 961 subscribers. Click that subscribe button. Help me get to, what is it, 1,000? I'll show you guys right. If you guys are trying to become a YouTuber as well, look at these requirements. Not doing so well. To earn, let's see, eligibility. I have 961 out of 500. So the eligibility for what? To start earning, I need 3,000 valid public watch hours. So I need to work on my my content, giving you guys better content enough so you guys could subscribe and watch more. So I'm working on it slowly. I'm a bit lazy, you guys, but at least I'm authentic. All right, there's no not Telegram. There's no screen in front of me, a teleprompter. I'm not doing it that way because it seems very unauthentic. Whatever, like I'm about to sell you guys something. I was thinking of doing it that way, but I don't want to be like a damn news reporter, like all stiff and shit. Maybe I'll put on a suit to look good for you guys, but not read off a teleprompter and be like, today's episode is gonna be yada yada. I want to be me, all right, and not really give too much shit about what other people think. Eligibility 961. I need to get to 1,000 to be able to Unlock even more ways to earn money. Ads on videos. Okay, so I don't make money yet. All right, I'm doing this for shits and giggles, you guys. Shits and giggles. I need 1,000 subscribers, and then I need up to 4,000 public watch hours. And shorts, I need to make shorts. I made none so far. I don't really like short form content. Maybe if I start making money, I'll hire someone and do it for me. Cause I'm trying to do this the lazy way. I don't want it to feel like a job. Um, I just want to have fun doing this. You know what I mean? Let's actually type in here Steam, and let's watch these other YouTubers because they have more intel than I do. Linus Tech Tips. Every other VR headset is obsolete now. Okay. How long is your video? 16 minutes. Okay. IGN, like, I used to watch their stuff for reviews and stuff, but just personally, like, their authenticity, it's just dying. A lot of their reviews are either too, they're incorrect, to say the least. And depending on the person, whoever is doing the review, I don't know these people. All right, like different fucking people are giving reviews and shit, and they don't all have the same taste as me in video games, or have absolutely no taste. But they're a big company, so they can hire people to do reviews. I don't know. I don't know who the hell they're allowing to make these reviews, even on like Metacritic or all these critics and shit. They're fucking incorrect. They did the same shit with I just recently watched. It's off topic, you guys. Primitive War. They gave horrible reviews on it. It's pretty fucking damn good. I mean, for a low budget, for a no name type of whatever. I don't even know who they are. They made a fucking awesome movie. All right, it's what I would expect if they were to make a Dino Crisis type uh version of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World with no kids, blood, guts, a little bit more or less PG-13. It's very entertaining. I will tell you that, and it's more on the like the first movie Jurassic Park, but a lot more horror ish. Uh, and I'm a veteran too, so that whole Vietnam War aspect that they implemented with that movie was just, eh, it tickled my fancy. Anyways, back to Steam. Steam. Now all these guys are getting the chance to test them out because, again, they've been on YouTube for a bit doing this. So, oh, Nexus Gaming Nexus. Oh, 45 minutes for his video, but he does a great job. He knows his shit. Valve Steam Machine, desktop, Steam OS, Steam Frame, VR, and controller. So he's gonna discuss it as an engineer. Oh, should I? It's 45 minutes. Do I want to waste your guys' time? Maybe. Asmongold, he watched the same video, I guess. Um, let's see. I can relate to Asmongold. All right, like he's a totally different person, but just he can relate to, I would say, a lot of people. Like, I don't know, I forgot how old he is. I'm 30 years old, just barely turned 30 this year. I'm a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. He and I would say he's kind of like-minded ish, but he's a different person. Like, I would chill with this dude. I would kick it with him. But yeah. Let's see. IGN do Valve talks new Steam Deck and why now's the right time for the console PC hybrid. It's see like this title like it's a damn PC like fucking straight up a PC. It replaces goddamn uh consoles and stuff because consoles are not necessary nowadays. Even Xbox understood this, and which is why they fucking have cloud gaming and stuff, which you're fucking up on. But hey, it's a way to still make money and provide the service in the gaming industry without actually needing hardware. But now, fucking, ah, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch Gamer Nexus
Wix,
do.
one platform, any website.
Goddamn fucking ads everywhere. Ads everywhere. Even you're paying subscriptions and there's still ads. All right. Oh wait. Actually, Valve. Yeah, you type in Valve, subscribe to them. Subscribe to Nexus. Gamer Nexus. Subscribe to them. I should actually. Oh, not join. I don't know what that does. But I'll subscribe to them for a bit. Um, it's just my algorithm. I don't know, YouTube, like you click on one video and then it gives you a shit ton of videos only on that subject, and like the old algorithm was kind of more balanced, so now it's like I gotta watch out for what I subscribe to and what I watch because it'll give me a shit ton of that, and it's like no, unless I subscribe to a certain amount of people. Like I'll show you guys who I'm subscribed to. uh 3D Revolution is like, I don't know, freaking. They had like a playlist of like tutorials on how to 3D print shit. So I have a 3D printer. Anyways, Asmongold, whoever does his fucking editing, he's hilarious. And then Asmongold TV, like he streams on Twitch, just like this. Uh, he's funny too. Brack, he's like a game dev or a, I don't know. He shows. I want to get into the game dev, so like I'm subscribing to people that are possibly gonna give me ideas or help me out with my education. Cyberflow, same thing. Free education was has to do with cybersecurity. Oh shit. Let me go back. I gotta stop clicking shit. Let's see. Dirty Civilian, because I'm U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Just our mission is to inspire and inform capable men to build strong families, resilience, and more. We cover a variety of topics, subjects including survival, bushcraft, modern military tech, marksman. I'm also getting into all that shit too, like prepping and learning all this stuff, or relearning stuff that I learned as a U.S. Marine and more, because they don't teach you everything, just enough so you could do your job. Let's see, Network Chuck, also like IT type stuff, learn from him. Thomas Brush, he does interviews. He's a game developer who does interviews, kind of like fucking. Why am I thinking Seth Rogen? What is his name? JRE. Fuck. I'm having a stroke over here. JRE. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan Experience. Why the fuck am I thinking Seth Rogen? Anyways, he does interviews and shit, and then he also does game development. All his stuff is about gaming, on the development side. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm subscribed to. Sometimes I unsubscribe and then subscribe again. That stupid YouTube algorithm. Anyways, let's get back to Gamer Nexus. And let's unmute. Start from the beginning.
Announcements today and some operating system announcements. The company is announcing its Steam Machine Mini PC with SteamOS. Also, the Steam Frame VR headset with separable compute portion, accompanying Steam Frame VR controllers, and the new Steam controller. There are multiple aspects of software wrapped into these, so SteamOS on ARM, FXMU, Proton updates, and of course SteamOS for desktop. So at our own expense, we booked some plane tickets, a hotel, and flew out to Valve to get some A-tier engineering discussion about all this stuff. We have thermal, acoustics, electrical engineering teams we're talking to today for the news announcements that Valve has.
And what happens is when the signal transitions through, it hits that and some reflection.
Usually I play all the videos on like 1.5 times or sometimes 2 times. I put on the headset and I like focus. I'd like lock in on the video and then I could actually focus and understand it. And if not, I do press back on it, or put the speed down to like 1.5, 1.25. But one times, like I could get the information in and understand it at a faster pace than I speak, or than other people speak.
And they
You guys could do it too.
We
You guys want to skip ahead? Go ahead.
Than an F1 team has in the calendar.
Now while I'm
If you
live,
hit it with EST,
you're
it
stuck
doesn't
with me.
blow out the front end of the chip.
It's interesting because there's displacement, but then there's also velocity and there's also acceleration.
Some details remain nebulous. The release for all of this is sometime in 2026. The Steam frame, in the very least, they're targeting early 2026. Pricing is TBD, but we have kind of rough estimates where we were told the Steam machine, so that's the computer. It's like kind of, it's not really a console. I mean, it's a computer. It just kind of looks.
This is the kind of intel that I will never get unless I get further in my YouTube career.
Like in its position like a console, but it's more
Whatevers.
open than that. That is supposed to be priced as what they called a quote entry-level computer, and they made sure to specifically say it would be not priced like a console, but like an entry-level computer. Where that range falls is kind of a personal choice for everybody, but it sounds like it's going to be more than a console. One of the biggest challenges Valve is going to run into is this.
RAM?
That's right. This might look like a stick of RAM that just 2 weeks ago was worth maybe about $30, but today it is worth about $60. And so we'll see how that DRAM market shakes out as they approach the launch 2026 for the Steam machine, but that's definitely going to impact the pricing decisions if it's still crazy like it is now. Valve told us that the frame headset won't be priced higher than an Index. It was non-specific, though, on which SKU.
It better be, because I didn't get the Valve Index simply because it was, $1,000 for the whole kit. And I can't not get the whole thing, right? I'm not going to get just the Valve Index headset and the remotes. Look at the Valve Index remotes. They're $279. Why do you think I went with Meta 3, even though fuck Zuckerberg, man. Fuck. He's always listening. I should get rid of it, but whatever. I got too much pictures and stuff. I just use it for the memes, you guys. Just for the memes and for like my collection, my album, or video album and shit. Whatever. I should do something about that too, but projects for the future.
Or bundle, if at all. As for this video, we're going to focus on news and engineering interviews for each component. We have at least 2 separate videos coming up after this that we split out, and we split them because it was like literally all engineers. It was actually, we have a lot of cool information, and we want to keep that density. We don't want to just chop it all up and put it in here. So we're going to have a separate video on acoustic, thermal, and power engineering for the Frame VR headset. If you're not into VR, it's still pretty interesting. And then we also have another one.
Well, I'm
on the Steam
interested.
Deck with
It's
one of
just
its
I need to
engineers.
find the
No
time.
announcements there, but pretty cool stuff.
This is a
We
lot of
might also have
nerdy
some more on the
shit.
Steam machine coming up too. But for now, let's get into the
I want
specs
to
and the news
know.
for SteamOS, which is a Linux-based operating system, the Steam machine, VR, the controller, and then the controllers for VR. This video is sponsored by us and our AI Dystopia Kickstarter-style fundraiser. We posted a video yesterday about the time someone from the Secret Service spoke to us about a company we investigated, and we detailed the AI Surveillance Dystopia series that we have coming up, which we're funding entirely through support from the audience on our own store at store.gamersnexus.net. As part of this, we launched our brand new Retro IO drink coaster packs, made of a rubberized material with 3D height differences in components. Each coaster pack comes with 4 distinct coasters, 1 retro-style computer front panel with 5 1/4-inch drives, and even a floppy disk in the slot. It's got knobs, dials, and retro gray color matching. one video game controller themed around the USPTO's favorite customer, one IBM Model M inspired numpad with carefully curved borders and large keycaps, and the GN Retro case style logo with careful object positioning to balance your drinks. We just launched these yesterday with our AI Dystopia series fundraiser, and already it's one of our fastest selling launches ever, accompanied by our 4 backer tiers for the upcoming series of investigations and special reports on troubling partnerships like
$300 for what?
Palantir, and games and special
What is that?
reports on troubling
$150 for a Cypher AI Dystopia series backer. Okay. You get a sticker pack, pint glass, USB media copy, new coaster set, takedown shirt, honey posture. Jesus Christ. Well, I wish. Hopefully, I could get to your level, Jesus Christ, and be able to justify and price things that way and make money. Well, good on you, man. Jesus, no wonder.
partnerships like NVIDIA working with Palantir and game publisher connected raids of people's homes for dev kits. You can watch that video to learn more. The
If I
tiers
want
include
some-
things like the
I have a 3D printer, and then whatever I need, I can either. Well, I don't know how to make 3D like designs yet, but there's other people that create 3D designs, and I could just look for the damn STL, whatever, the little file. If you guys don't know what STL is, like a file, I could put it into a 3D slicer software that works with my 3D printer, and I could print the damn fucking thing. If it works, if it doesn't work, then you have to figure out how to make it work. But once it works, you can have it on a USB drive and then continuously print out stuff. Like I did that for my phone, hexagonal phone case for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now whenever it gets destroyed or I want to change it up, I can do it myself. All I need is filament, and that shit is cheap. For the amount of filament that you get and the amount of stuff you could print out, be it whatever whatever you guys can imagine, okay? You guys can create, all right? Anyways, back to the video.
coaster packs, our
But this is cool. If you guys want, you
new
guys
censored vaporwave
can purchase this. I know how to make my own graphic t-shirts myself too, and I know where all these companies get their freaking t-shirts wholesale and for cheap. Even Gucci uses the same damn not Gucci, Armani, whatever, Gucci, Armani, they use the same type of brands and stuff. They're all fucking cheap as fuck. You guys are just, not all of you guys. You guys are smart, but everyone else is stupid, and they buy like cheap shit for hundreds of dollars or whatever, just for the mark or whatever. But hey, good on them. They're making money. If you guys want to spend, that's on you.
smiley t-shirt, our Snowflake the Data Pirate cat metal doubloons for your tabletop gaming sessions, and bonus behind the scenes videos, group Q&A sessions with me, and more. This directly supports our upcoming series of Deep Dive. Head over to store.gamersaccess.net to help us directly while you get something unique in return. It also helps us independently pay for travel to events like these. Thanks for your support.
That's
Back
true.
to the news. Now
I
first,
should
Valve has
probably do that.
attempted to launch Steam machines before. I was there in the before
Milestones,
times at
you guys.
GDC
I have to
in
get to
2014
1,000
2015
subscribers first.
when a bunch of system integrators had basically mini ITX computers that Valve sort of said, look, it's not like literally a Steam machine, but if you call it that, we can't stop you. That's what they had. Never came out. They just launched its ITX computers from SIs, and that kind of killed the project there. It is coming out now, but unlike last time, Valve's going first party for hardware. SteamOS is available to partners if they want to work with other companies on it. So in theory, other people could build their own. I guess it would just at that point be a SteamOS box. But they are now deploying SteamOS for their first significant first-party supported desktop, or basically desktop deployment with a Steam machine.
Now, question for the comments, not the live, whatever, maybe live, whatever. You guys could let me know. Would you guys rather I stream it like this, kind of like a Anchorman, and then like The chat is below me, you guys, so you guys can see the chat more. You can see me here. It's a little bit more professional, more organized and stuff. I wouldn't like the video to be that small or whatever. I'm pointing that way. The video is smaller than the other scene, so that's why I am allowing you guys to see the whole screen, just so you guys could get a better view on it, right? I like it this way better, but there's some people that like the cool factor of this, whatever. Stream it this way. You guys let me know.
And that's important as well. So let's start with the Steam Machine and the specs. The Steam Machine uses a BGA solution with SODIMM memory and modular M.2 storage, shipping in 512GB and 2TB models with the micro SD card slot for additional storage, and there's an optional Steam controller bundle. Micro SD cards can be pulled relatively seamlessly between the Steam Deck and the Steam Machine and transplanted between each other with games on them. It should be simpler than Windows in that way. The CPU is an AMD 6-core 12-thread Zen 4 processor with its IGP fused off, and the GPU is a separate semi-custom RDNA 3 28CU chip that supports ray tracing, which RDNA 3 does. The 28CU solution is paired with 8GB of GDDR6 VRAM, and then RDNA 3 was the RX 7000 series, so the 32CU RX 7600 would be relatively close by pure CU count comparison. There's other specs to consider as well, but just by CU count, this would be a little bit below that. System memory is separate at 16GB of DDR5 5600 laptop memory. For rear ports, the Steam Machine has one DisplayPort 1.4, one HDMI 2.0 with CEC, one 1GB per second Ethernet, one USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 10GB per second, and two USB 2 Type A ports. There are also two USB 3 Type A ports in the front, 2x2 Wi-Fi 6E, and another two separate antennas for Bluetooth and one specifically for the Steam controllers. Out of the box, it ships with SteamOS, although you probably didn't need us to go to Seattle to tell you that part. That much seemed obvious.
No,
Our biggest immediate concern by looking at this is definitely just the thermals. Looking at how closed off the box is in general, there's not a lot of space at the bottom. That's where most of the air is going to come in. There's a little bit of space at the front. You take the front panel off, and that opens it up a lot. But we can't really pass too much judgment on it till we have it to benchmark, which we will definitely be doing. Valve did do a lot of tuning on thermals, so they have a single larger, for this size machine, 120mm fan that's used as a pull solution. So that'll pull through the bottom and the holes in the front. It'll pull a lot through the holes in the front if you remove the front panel.
My PC,
trade-off, so if you pull that front panel and more air comes in through
I purchased the Fantex one. It's like an airflow. It's good on the airflow. It's a fan PC.
There's a lot of thermal.
It is not a water-cooled PC that I have, so I'm running fans, and then later on I bought more fans. So like it's full like fans in the back, one in the back, like a 120mm fans. The one in the back is pushing out air, so is the one on the top. It's sucking out the air and blowing it outwards, and then the front ones that already came with the Fantex P400A RGB freaking case came with the fans already on it. RGB already has RGB on it, and those are also 120mm fans that are sucking in air from the outside. So airflow, a lot of airflow. Anyways, yeah, that's better for my GPU and CPU, right? Thermals are pretty good.
Testing to do for that one, and acoustics too. We'll definitely be putting that in the acoustic chamber. But there were two critical shortcomings with the original Steam machines, the ones that predate this one.
Acoustics. I'm wondering what he means about that. I'm a newbie in the computer engineering, computer science tab. I'm a student, and even then, again, college is kind of a scam. I'm learning more through ChatGPT and actually doing shit, like finding projects or wanting to do projects that actually are something that I will enjoy or want or will actually help me either improve my life, whether it's necessary or not, like gaming and stuff, right? Like learning how to emulate games and stuff. ChatGPT helped me out, and Google, and then other thread or whatever. People are not helping me doing the to learn this stuff. I'm teaching myself how to do it through research, and yeah, reading the books and textbooks is a lot better than listening to lectures. And like a lot of these professors, they suck at their job. Not all of them. Some of them are fucking good. Like the math teachers and shit. All the other subjects and stuff, they're kind of useless as classes to take in college. Like, why the fuck do you have to retake everything that you already learned in high school? Like, let me just whatever. It's not gonna change anytime soon, but whatever. It's gonna feel that way. There's a lot of like. I'm the type of person that loves just learning random shit, as much shit as I can. Everything could interest me. It's just I know I don't have the time to learn everything or like do it as a career, so I have to pick and choose one thing to do. Chose this route. Well, actually, immediately after high school, I joined the U.S. Marine Corps. Right, like 3 days after I graduated, I was in boot camp, and I turned 18 in boot camp. I didn't let them know that because they get you if they find out it's your birthday. But anyways, that's a story for a different time. PTSD. Anyways, what was I? You guys want to learn shit? Fucking read books. Go to the library. You don't want to spend? Go to the public library. Go get a book on whatever subject you want to learn and fucking actually lock in and learn. You guys could do that for free, or if you guys want to spend a little bit of money, get the most popular books or ebooks or audiobooks, or watch YouTube videos. That's free. That's another free thing to do, which I also do for tutorials and stuff. Anyways, you guys got a cell phone. Knowledge is literally right there. You guys keep on doom scrolling on TikTok, Facebook, and like I also do it. For the memes, for the funnies, for the ha-has. But you guys, no excuse. Go learn some shit. Something. Go learn some shit. Do what you guys actually want to do. Find the time. You guys can find the time to do it. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Try to find more and more time to spend on learning shit that you guys actually care about. Anyways, enough of that. On a tangent, it's gonna happen a lot in the stream, in all my streams. That's just how I am.
History. The first critical shortcoming was Valve did not ship them. That's kind of the main one, really. The second was that Valve was working with third-party suppliers, that'd be system integrators in this case, iPower, companies like that, to make small form factor PCs as Steam machines. They did not intend to do large first-party small form factor PCs. Be system integrators in this case, iPower, companies like that, to make small form factor PCs as Steam machines.
I used to have that. I purchased it. I tried it out. It was pretty cool. As an idea, connected to the TV. Like back then, technology wasn't there, so this made it easier to be able to play games and stuff. Anyways, this was awesome. I was able to. I forgot what it was actually able to do, but it was pretty cool too. Alienware logo on the right. They did it with Alienware. Anyways, the Steam machine, it was pretty fucking cool. I liked it. I liked the Steam remote too, as well.
They did not intend to do large first-party runs at the time, other than a beta run. And there wasn't really a great reason to use the 2015 version of SteamOS from that time. It was nowhere close to where it is today. SteamOS just was a much higher path of resistance than using Windows, and Windows wasn't yet at peak.
I need more soda, you guys.
Capacity.
And so essentially we just feel like now is the right time for us to make these happen, just because we finally feel like we have the software and the hardware pieces all figured out.
Right.
By all accounts, the SteamOS experience on Steam Deck, people love it. They love the convenience. We're seeing a lot of people use their Steam Deck to talk to their TV.
Right.
Hell yeah! I'm doing that right now.
That console, experience is there. But we just simply feel like if we were to make something that's more, intended for that use case, that doesn't have the weight and battery life limitations, we can give those people a much better experience.
Now, you might look at the Steam Machine in our footage and think, if not console, why console shaped? And it's really simple. It's because it is a small form factor computer. That is all it is. It's an SFF PC with SteamOS on it. And that's a good thing. That's really what we want because it has most of the modularity of computers. So it doesn't have the CPU and GPU. Those are BGA solutions. But you can still open it up and change things. You can access BIOS. So we're talking about that. Valve says it's more like a laptop style BIOS in that it is not going to have as many options as, say, like the Asus motherboard for desktop or something. But
if you guys don't have a PC, and again, after we find out how much, when it rolls out, basically how much it costs, you guys see if it's worth purchasing or purchasing a PC, like cost effective slash, remember, you guys buy a already built PC. It's gonna have a shit ton of bloatware. If you guys want to, like, I know, save time and don't want to actually learn how to build your guys' own PC, then okay, whatever. But I suggest you learn. Okay, it's a little bit of trial and error in reading the manuals and stuff, but it's doable. Okay, I did it as a newbie. Took me 3 hours, I think, and I was recording, so I had to stop and move the camera around and stuff. That was, yeah. Anyways, this is a whole story. Anyways, if you guys don't have a gaming PC or desktop, it could be a good choice to get if it's customizable or upgradable. And if not, then just build your own PC. If you guys want something portable, I do recommend the Steam Deck. Any of them, all right? It could be the LCD one, cost effective, right? Or the $650 OLED one, very portable, play games anywhere. All you need is Wi-Fi. God damn. One of the best things to feel that is when you purchase a game and you don't need Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or the Nintendo whatever online bullshit monthly subscription in order to play online. If you have Wi-Fi, you're paying for internet, you purchase the game, and it's an online game or it has that alongside a offline mode, then come on. Why the fuck would I ever go back to Xbox or PlayStation? It's just another way for them to get more of your money. For no upgrade.
they did say that, quote, you can play around with frequencies. So there's some level of tuning you can do in BIOS. We asked Valve about its choice to go with the BGA Zen 4 solution rather than something socketable, seen as that benefit from AM5's like 4, and Valve considered modular CPUs and GPUs,
Some
but
Mr.
settled
Bain.
on soldering both chips to the board
My
for thermal
brother's,
and size reasons.
German
Unfortunately, this
Shepherd,
means it's not
just chilling on the
upgradable
couch.
because they're soldered to the board, but it gives them more control over it, makes it smaller. The CPU has a peak frequency of 4.8 gigahertz from what they told us,
man.
which sounds similar.
Can you guys not see? Alright, there was frame drops. I do not know why. Maybe it was the freaking Wi-Fi gate restarted or whatever. I think I'm good to go again. Anyways, if this is a part 2 video, then it's a part 2 video, whatever. On YouTube and Rumble, I'll rename it as part 2. And if you guys are watching me live on Twitch or Kick, then we're just continuing off, whatever. Anyways, whatever. I don't know where we left off before the thing cut off, but we're watching Gamer Nexus talk about the Steam Deck hardware, or the Valve Steam, all this stuff right here. Valve Steam Machine, the desktop OS, the Steam frame, and the remote controller as an engineer discussion. I'm an computer engineering student, so this nerdy shit interests
to
you.
an R5 7640U. It's not exact, but it's kind of getting there. It falls short of something like an R5 7600 for the desktop. Now, the silicon's off the shelf. It's an AMD semi-custom solution, so Valve worked with AMD to do some tuning on the CPU. It's not a lot from what we understand. It sounds like basically they fused off some parts they're not going to use, like the IGP. They did whatever tuning they want to do on the volt frequency curve, and then otherwise there's firmware customization, software customization, of course, and then the fusing off of certain elements. Now, the 28CU GPU, from what Valve is saying, operates typically at about 2.45 gigahertz under load.
Now, a lot of this gibberish, if you guys don't know what it is, and if you guys actually want to know what it is, you guys can Google it, ChatGPT it, figure it out on your own. Does not really matter. Just, if you know, you know. If you don't, just whatever you could understand. Hopefully you guys can piece the puzzle together or connect the dots eventually. Short words is got a lot of good stuff, a lot of technicalities that you may or may not even care for. Valve created it. Has a CPU and GPU that makes it work like a laptop or PC, and it also plays video games. That's all you guys really. I don't know how. Sorry. Well, so not sorry. Yeah, I dumb it down enough so that the majority of people can understand. Think it's a computer that could play video games. A lot better. It is a cube or rectangular prism, more of a rectangular prism, and it can play video games through a service that allows you to play games cost effectively, and it has a wider range of or a library of games that you can access, and they're making it more seamless. So in the gaming aspect, it's gonna be way better. It's not portable like a laptop or a Steam Deck, and that's all you guys really need to know. This is more like a desktop PC. It's more, let's see, for the Apple fucking ecosystem prisoners. Let's see, it's like the Mac Mini. It's like the Mac Mini. You connect it to your TV or whatever display you guys have, and you guys could play video games. You guys could also use it as a desktop computer.
Although its peak opportunistic boost would be higher if you're familiar with AMD's terminology. They sort of have two boost states. One is like a nominal boost under load, and then the other one is peak opportunistic boost.
I mean, I was on the motherboard, so I'm really proud of how small it is for what it is. It's, both the CPU and the GPU is on it. We use the same thermal module to cool everything. So both the CPU and the GPU, the memory, and the FETs as well are all connected to the same thermal module.
Do you know, off the top of your head, the sort of power consumption during peak load or nominal load?
So the GPU is anywhere between 110 130 watts.
Okay.
We're still dialing that in, to be honest. The CPU is closer to 30 watts.
Okay.
And
so kind of like a toaster, you guys. Like if you ever keep a toaster on or a microwave on, probably even a little bit more. Not as much as like keeping your regular PC on.
Once you add in memory and peripherals and all that kind of stuff, we're typically in the 200 plus watt range.
Now, in a later discussion, Valve locked down the GPU to 110 watts. We asked about the chipset. Valve said it's routing all of the I/O through the CPU rather than using an AMD chipset on the motherboard. This is an option with AMD. You can just go through the I/O die on the CPU. That is something that they support. We asked about the VRM. We'll have to wait for the teardown to get final answers, but here's what they said. Here's what Yazan knew off the top of his head.
It's 6-phase for the GPU.
Okay. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, and then for the CPU, we have 2 or 3 phases. I don't remember exactly. The problem is there's different rails. The GPU does 6 phase for core, 2 or 3 phases for memory. For the CPU, it's I think total about 4 phases.
Okay.
Split between different rails.
VSOC and vCore and whatever, yeah. Power is handled by a 12-volt solution. It's only 12 volts. On a pure technicality, it's not necessarily 12 VO in the sense that it is using a blade connector instead of going through cabling. So this helps with a lot of things, primarily space, but there are other benefits as well. And it's a 300-watt power supply that's mated directly to the motherboard with the blade connector. Valve is doing something we want to give them credit for here, which is a lot of the mini PC companies, they are able to claim a smaller volume by shipping an external power brick with it instead. So it's kind of cheating at the numbers because there's still an external thing. They didn't shove it in the box, which means volume number lower and lower number better on that graph. So Valve shoved the power supply.
Yeah, that's so fucking true. Because a lot of the like the Alienware laptop and stuff, it's portable-ish. It's like 8 pounds or 7 pounds, 7 to 8 pounds to carry that shit. I have I bought the backpack for it to carry. I also gave that away to my nephew. Anyways, but the brick is fucking huge, so it's thicker than the actual laptop, and it's cumbersome. So, and then depending on what GPU, CPU that you have with that Alienware laptop or these gaming laptops, it needs that much power to keep it powered on. For some of them could stay powered on. Mine, for some reason, I had to always keep it plugged in, or else it would turn off. And not everyone has that problem, but I did with my laptop. I don't have to deal with that shit no more because I gave it to my nephew. He has to deal with it. It's a freaking $1,600 freaking gaming laptop, okay? He has nothing to complain about. He got it for free. You're welcome.
In the case, and that means they are taking up a decent amount of the Steam Machine's volume with a true internal power supply. Valve says that it hits over 92% efficiency in, quote, most scenarios, end quote. And given the thermal challenges and the space constraints, we think it's cool that they shoved it in here, and we're looking forward to taking it apart more.
We spent a lot of time thinking about airflow.
PSU stands for Power Supply Unit. I learned some stuff.
Living room is actually a really challenging thermal environment, right? Like people can shove them in corners, put them behind things. So we thought about how do we have intake and exhaust that is hard to block. Somebody who's not really thinking about it, so we have bottom intake, so airflow kind of just flows around the front here through here.
Okay.
And then we also have perimeter intake here, 360 again because it's really hard to block every single one of those.
Right.
And then finally we have exhaust on the back because if you have cables attached here, you can't really push it all the way against the wall, so we always guaranteed some space.
Now the legs are short, which we pointed out, but Valve says that its goal, for whatever this is worth, and we'll do all this testing once it's in, but was to fit under a 6-inch shelf in a media unit. We probably don't need to test that. Probably just look at a spec sheet for that part. But the thermals we're going to test, and that makes sense for a living room environment. They were telling us that the design team was fighting over fractions of a millimeter, and so a difference in 0.5 millimeter of height on the feet on the bottom actually became a big deal if they're trying to fit within certain, I guess, media entertainment type furniture you would have under a TV or something. Valve claimed that the leg height as it is now, assuming it's not on carpet, still allows for 95% or thereabouts of flow performance as compared to a fully unrestricted bottom intake, meaning if you had an infinitely open bottom suspended in air, they think that they're close to around 95% of what they would be able to get in that situation. So we'll test that as soon as we get it in. We have all the tools for that. And you do absolutely need to make sure this does not.
I don't have the tools for that.
And Valve did point out that they're going to say that in the manual or something to that effect. So as soon as it's on some surface that will conform to
Even
it, it's going to be a bad time.
YouTuber,
Valve had some
other
interesting
YouTubers
solutions
for
to its
that kind of
airflow and
stuff.
size limitations. There's a plastic ridge on the bottom of the machine, and that is intended to block hot exhaust from recirculation, which it does simply by just dropping down slightly lower to the floor. Under normal conditions, we were told that the airflow split between the bottom vents and the perimeter vents should be 50-50. The rear of the case is made of metal for the highest possible porosity while remaining sturdy and complying with the various regulations for exposed fans. And the front is a magnetic plastic panel with the intention that users can print their own, maybe with better airflow. Now, Valve did show us some other closed panels, but they were pretty cool. So one example was an e-ink display that Valve won't be selling, but that they were using for testing. You could make one of these yourself if you were crafty enough. The relatively large aluminum fin stack is mostly a single shared solution. It contacts the CPU with phase change TIM, uses paste for the GPU, and then thermal putty for the rest. It doesn't directly contact the system memory or the storage. Neither of those are soldered to the board, though. The heatsink has 4 heat pipes that look like roughly 8mm solutions, paired with a single custom 120mm exhaust fan at the rear of the box, using a custom cowling that gives slightly more depth in some areas of the fan, which would enable better pressure performance. Using an axial fan rather than a blower for a device of this form factor is unusual and created design difficulties, Valve told us, as opposed to, for example, the PS5, where it just uses a...
All right,
these Valve told us, as opposed to, for example, the...
I don't like the design of the PS5 at all. Like, when they, I don't know why freaking, I don't know, for art, as an art piece, whatever, but like, fucking, I don't like it at all. I like the PS2, PS3 was awesome. The PS2 I liked more, but the PS3 was obviously better performance-wise and stuff, and it was kind of glossy black. This design is just fucking weird. I could see it in a different light as like an art piece to have in your fucking your living room or whatever. I get it, but it's retarded. No, that shit overheats. Fucking performance over cosmetics. That's you could yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Performance over looks, and then even then you can make it look fucking good, and you can have both. Okay, you can customize shit. Whatever. I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't look cool to me. It looks fucking weird.
PS5, where it just uses a gigantic blower. Now, the benefit of blower fans is static pressure performance. They are also pretty good at exhausting the heat.
It looks like, if you know Dragon Ball Z, you know Cell fucking his the complete form, his stupid ass fucking head, how it goes up, like, I don't know what that is, his helmet, his ears, whatever. It looks like that. And like his forehead is all yellow and or whatever color it is. That's what it reminds me of, except slimmer, or a stupid ass fucking skyscraper or whatever. It's gaming PC. It's not a building.
Out of a small enclosed box.
Or a lamp.
The fan in this instance, axial one, is focused on static pressure. It ranges between 500 to 2,000 RPM. And it's got a blade to frame, tip to frame clearance of somewhere between 0.5 to maybe 1 millimeter. It's a big range, but Valve wasn't certain offhand what that clearance was, and also wasn't certain if the material is PBT or LCP or what it may be.
One of the questions that people are asking is like, how did you arrive at this architecture? And the answer, I think, is probably going to be surprising to most people, which is we literally designed the fan first.
Okay, cool.
Because like when the laws of thermodynamics are not flexible. Like if you know how much heat you're trying to remove, you can, and you know what the temperature the GPU is trying to reach, that tells you how much airflow you need. If you know how much airflow you need, you can get to design the fan.
The PlayStation, the newer ones, they look like they worked from an appearance aspect first, and the thermals came afterwards.
So we really started by looking at what's on the market, how much airflow they can get at what static pressure, playing with blade geometries, like getting the optimal fan that we can.
Well, the last thing on the thermal solution is we're probably going to do some Schlieren imaging for this one, because it'll work perfect for it. I mean, we can test the sort of recirculation blocker at the bottom really easily with Schlieren imaging, and then we can also take a look at how the air enters and exits based on that front panel attachment. So that'll be fun for us once it actually launches. The memory is upgradable with disassembly of the machine. It is laptop memory. we're not sure if it's 2 sticks or 1 at the moment.
Now you don't really need that many tools. It's just very technical and nerdy and like thermals means heat, right? You guys can unless your nerves are shot or whatever all over your body, like fucking your skin everywhere, or you don't own like a thermometer or whatever, you guys could put your hands over the or touch it. You can feel the device if it gets hot when it's running for however long. You guys are playing for long game sessions. You go over to the console and just touch it. It seems hot. Or if you guys are visually looking at the damn TV and it's stuttering and stuff after like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. That's how you guys could test it without any instruments. You guys don't need instruments. You guys could just tell. And other than that, if you guys have friends or someone you know, an acquaintance that has the other gaming device, you have a PlayStation, they have an Xbox Series X, test it out, go hang out at their house, play on their console, try everything out. Don't close your mind on one. Don't be like Team PlayStation, Team Xbox. Fucking open yourself out. Although I am PC Master Race, but it's more flexible. But I've purchased Nintendo Switches before. I gave them away to my nieces and nephews. God damn, I do spoil them, don't I? I give them free shit all the time. I should charge them. Anyways, I don't close myself off. I test everything. See what's the best of the best, what's good for you. And you guys don't need to be this nerdy or know this much. I don't know this stuff. I don't know like half of the stuff that he's even talking about. Just listening to it. Hopefully something sticks. And I start to like slowly put the puzzle pieces together, connect the dots, and figure out what the hell they're talking about. The more I expose myself to this environment. Ranson32, I don't run Arch, by the way. Are you sure? Are you sure? Either way, hi, Ranson32. Subscribe and follow, man. Continue with this video.
Replacing the stock M.2 2230 SSD is easier. It's directly exposed, and there is enough room for a standard 2280 drive. We had a really interesting technical discussion. It's kind of a side shoot. It goes into PCB design and memory trace routing, and so this was cool, where the GPU is GDDR6 memory VRAM, and that poses some unique challenges, Valve was telling us, where they ended up using a 10-layer PCB because of the memory solution. But here's the clip.
Adding layers is typically done because you need the layers for routing, and that's for us was the main reason because we needed to. GDDR6 is really hard to route.
Okay. Why is that?
It's a lot of signals, very high speed signals. You know, they're very dense, so it takes a lot of layers to do that. And also GDDR is pretty power hungry, so you have to kind of use some layers for power routing and then other layers for signal routing.
And is it still true that each trace for memory needs to be the same length?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you have to time delay match. It's not even the same length. It's time delay. So you have to like keep in mind the propagation delay because the time.
Ranson32. Honestly, ever since Steam Deck and then the Legion Go S, I was hoping for Valve to try Steam machines again. Yeah, man. I had the freaking the one with the alien logo, the Steam machine. I had that with the Steam controller. I don't remember if it came with the Steam controller. I think it did, but I liked it. I also had an Xbox One, and I had that. I liked it. I don't know about you, but anyways, I got my Steam Deck over here. I'm having fun legally emulating my games and playing it on my TV, on the couch, and as well as my other I used to like keep myself from wanting to play on consoles and stuff, since I have a PC capable of like playing 2K and sometimes up to 4K on these games and stuff, like I'd be having to force myself to sit down here and use the screen to play video games and stuff. It because of the graphics. I'm like, because I spent money on it, I might as well use it. But not the backlog that I had, because I kept being a dumbass and purchasing more and more games and thinking that a lot of these games were actually gonna be worth it. Starfield, Jesus, Starfield and other games. Anyways, I have them. But because of the Steam Deck, I'm starting to attack that library, that backlog of video games that I've never played. Plus, I'm playing old nostalgic games from like the N64 and GameCube and all this stuff, and I'm gonna get some Game Boy games on and play it like just on the couch or on the bed, on the shitter, like you name it, man. It's fun. Raising console prices. Oh wait, hold up. Let me look at your yeah. Let's see where you're. Hopefully I don't have to. Let me look at your chats. My bad, man. It said because they're increasing dissatisfaction towards PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, they are fucking up. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo are really fucking up. They're getting more money hungry, greedy, and it's, I don't know, their leadership fucking sucks. Exclusively or slowly dying. Game libraries of those two consoles are getting smaller. Plus, Steam has like a little of each, except for Nintendo. But Nintendo, if they're gonna, us gamers, like the more we, what's it called, malnourish them or neglect to purchase more and more of their games and their Nintendo Switches, they're gonna need a way to make money, and they're eventually gonna cave and like allow their games to not be entirely exclusive anymore, just like PlayStation started to do with a lot of their games. Not a lot of their games, but like good games, God of War, Ragnarok, stuff like that. Raising console prices, yeah, that's a horrible mistake, especially nowadays. Economy is horrible in the U.S. and they want to charge even more for something that a lot of people don't obviously see as a priority. Perfect chance for Valve to jump in. Yeah, they're fucking. It's like they're right on the fucking money. They're like, all right, let's do this. It's almost like they knew what was gonna happen and they waited. It's like they were planning it since the first Steam machine came out. They're like, oh, I think it was ahead of its time, and they're all like, you know what, we'll work on it in the back. And then they come out with the Steam Deck, and just perfect. Nintendo isn't fucking up as much. They still have tons of exclusives, and the Switch is very, very, yeah, only because of that and the nostalgia of it. But any PC, or not any PC, but like you'll still be able to play a lot of popular games that are not on the Nintendo Switch. Like I'm playing older games that are not on the Nintendo Switch on my Steam Deck. You could do the same. Like I'm opting out of purchasing some of the newer shit and actually playing the games that I've already purchased and having gone around to play them. Plus, I'm going to try out these old games that I've never had the chance to play when I was a kid and growing up, because I got money now, right? I have a job. I got money now. I can do it now, right? But I'm going to play these games finally. The other reason I want this Steam machine is that it gets Linux into more people's lives. Yep. It's a lot more like a regular PC. People will be more likely to play with desktop mode on a Steam machine compared to the deck. Yep. But hey, the Nintendo Switch, you just put it on a damn stand that's already connected to the TV. You could do the same shit with your Steam Deck. It's pretty easy. I'm doing it right now. It would be smart for Steam or Valve, whatever, to include the stand so that they could connect it to the TV and not charge. How much they charge for that shit? Let me actually, because I didn't purchase it. I purchased a different one that came with the case and that, like a hub. It's Steam. Cost like what, $75 for that shit? No, actually, Steam Deck. Let's look at it right now. $650. Look, Steam Deck docking station, $80. Jesus, ain't no one gonna spend $80. They're just gonna go to Amazon and find another one that works. Or if you have a HDMI cable to HDMI, that's what I'm doing. I have like a bunch of extra HDMI cables, and I'm just doing it that way. But yeah, freaking. Hey, they're gonna do good. They need to make money somehow. Let's continue watching this.
Top layers will have slightly different propagation delay than the middle layers, so you have to keep that in mind. Impedance as well.
Right.
So they have basically all the bits have to arrive at the same time.
Right.
The speed of light, down to I think like a picosecond, if I remember correctly. GDDR6 is, as I said, really challenging. So like we have to do things like back drilling. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I don't think I am.
It's basically like when you have a hole through the board to transition through layers.
The people who are frustrated with Windows 11 open up to the idea of using Linux desktop because they own a Steam machine. It's a win for Linux. Yep. Dude, fucking, Jesus Christ. I had Windows 10, and I'm like looking at the prices for Windows 11. First of all, my hardware didn't qualify to get Windows 11, and then I looked at the price of Windows 11 to be able to get the license key, whatever, and I'm like, fuck that! I ain't spending that much for that, and then replacing all my hardware is still good. Like a lot of laptops and stuff, they have Windows 11, and I'm like my hardware and stuff either equivalent to that laptop or better. So I don't get why I get why they're doing it. They want money. That's pretty much it. But they're purposely killing off a bunch of electronics and like wasting a lot of people's money when, again, a lot of people are struggling right now. It's just, Jesus Christ, they're fucking shooting themselves in the foot. All right, this is just anti-consumer ideas are just they're gonna pay for it. We're gonna make them pay for it, right? They made us pay for their stupidity. They're gonna pay for their stupidity eventually. As long as people start getting more smart with their money, or more what do you call that? Choosy, like picky with their stuff. Actually doing research on stuff before they buy, and not just buying because they want to keep up with the Kardashians, basically. You said you watched the videos of someone trying to install Windows 11 in 2025. And oh my god, they tried to sell you on so many subscriptions during the install process. Yeah, that's why Jesus Christ, like the authenticity of even YouTubers and stuff, or there's ads on everything. They're trying to sell you on shit everywhere. It's not even like, I don't know who the hell is getting tricked or actually buying stuff off of these ads and stuff. They're horrible. Like I was born in like 95, right? You remember? I don't know how old you are, but back then these commercials that would play like at night, there would be these. I remember love songs, CD collection that you could purchase. They'd just pop out at night and wake you up, or if you stayed up long enough, you'd be able to. Like they had better ads and commercials back then, if you get what I'm trying to get at, and they could actually sell you on shit. But they're just fucking stuffing so many ads and subscriptions and trying to force feed, and I just don't get how they're even making money, or like who the fuck is actually purchasing shit that is, because people who purchase stuff off of that are just giving them more incentive to like do that stuff to us. Like I don't know how to explain myself, but I'm pretty sure you get what I'm saying. There are AI buttons inside Notepad and Paint now? What? If you click on the AI button, it asks you to subscribe. Yeah, fuck that shit. I try to find ways to do stuff for free and the easier way.
There's just a through hole. So if you're trying to go from like layer 1 to layer 5, you have a stub that goes all the way down to layer 10.
Got it.
And what happens is when the signal transitions through, it hits that, and some reflections go through the via, and they resonate and cause interference.
Is this the same as a via, or is it different from a via? Because vias I'm familiar with.
It's basically, if you think about like the path that the signals take, right? They go from layer 1, and then go to layer 5, and they continue on layer 5. Because the via has to go through the whole board, there's a path where it doesn't take, right?
Okay,
like a stub, like it's a junction in the road, and the signal wants to take one way, but there's the other one, which is a byproduct of just the manufacturing technology. So we have to go back and drill that path and remove it. So the signal doesn't travel both paths and cause interference.
Cool.
Back drilling removes part of the via to only the part you're using.
What if you could clean your retainer at the touch of a button? No more brushing or tablets. Over 4 years ago, our team...
Fucking mute the shit. They're not even relevant anymore. These subscriptions and ads that come out, they're not even relevant anymore. It makes it even more annoying. Anyways, and then I apologize for the Stream Elements fucking merch store link that keeps on coming up. I don't know how to take it off right now, and the link doesn't work to it. I connected it to let's see, Stream Elements and like my streaming on OBS. I don't know how to take it off. I'll figure it out sometime, hopefully, and by then I'll probably actually have the capability to monetize my channels and open up that merch store. Probably, I don't know, but just ignore it for now. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
There's a customizable LED bar on the front of the machine that's used as a status indicator for when the display is off. For example, it can show download progress of games. Looks nice. And of course, we're well equipped here to test the thermal, power, flow, acoustics, all that stuff on this. I'm actually excited to turn all of the equipment on it because this is like exactly what we are set up to do here. So as soon as it's out, you'll want to check back for all of that. But let's move on to the next part, which is the Steam Frame. The Valve Steam Frame's key feature is its bandwidth-saving foveated streaming solution, which takes its naming and some of the concepts from foveated rendering but applies it to streaming. The frame is built modularly with a separable, fully contained, face-mounted ARM architecture computer running SteamOS. Now, we last covered VR in detail with the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. It's been a little while. That was back when the industry was a little crazy. Everything was branded with 2 letters on every device. VR. Fortunately, these days, as an industry, we've moved past using 2 letters to sell.
That's funny. All right. Ransom32 said, sometimes I wish YouTube's algorithm or AI would be smart enough to realize that I'm poor and give up on making me buy something. Even if I wasn't entirely poor, I wouldn't buy that shit. I don't know why they keep showing me stuff like that. Like, no. The algorithm is, I don't know. The AI, I don't know. Everyone's fucking up. I don't know. I like that. I think I like the algorithm before because they'd actually give you stuff that's more relevant. And I said before while I was streaming earlier, you weren't viewing this. I don't think anyone was viewing my stream at that time, but I said that the algorithm would, like, as soon as you watch one video, it like pumps a crap ton of the same type of videos, and you, like, before it was a variety of things that you actually watch, like the algorithm was more balanced. Now it's like, all right, you watch one video, it's a brand new fucking time. You watch one video on, I don't know, something like a podcast, and then it shovels a shit ton of fucking podcasts, and it's like, yo, what, I just stumbled upon a video, or I just wanted to watch that video just to see like what it was about. Not now I have like a whole library of fucking shit that I'm scrolling down, and it's all the same stuff. I hate that shit. Anyways, back to this video.
Okay, look, it's not a good example right now, but now Meta's own ARM-based solutions are something that we're popular right now, and Valve did launch the Index in the meantime, since the old HTC Vive that it partnered with them on, and it says that the price ceiling for the frame should be about where the Index is. The 440-gram headset consists of a front-mounted 185-gram core unit and a back-of-head mounted battery. Valve uses an onboard Snapdragon 8650 ARM solution.
They're using a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 ARM 64 processor. I wonder what they have for this Quest 3. Okay. I'm just, like, I'll be purchasing shit. I'll be buying stuff. And, like, I need a set time to actually use the stuff that I keep buying stuff, man. I am a consumer. Although I am making sure that I have the money for it and then not going broke, but I gotta cool it off. Plus I give away a lot of my stuff away to family members, my nieces and nephews. I love them. I give them free shit, and then I kind of use them as an excuse to get the new shit. But it's a plan. That way we all have like a VR headset or a gaming console or a gaming laptop. We can all play together. That's my goal. I want everyone to be able to. I need my freaking army, or my team. I need my fire team or whatever to play video games online together. It's not going so well because not all of them have the same taste in video games, and even some of them don't like playing multiplayer online. They just like playing by themselves. Like my brother who lives with me, Helldivers 2, we sometimes play together, but he doesn't wait. He doesn't wait. He just gets on it. Well, already the team is full. You gotta wait until the next fucking game, and then I'm not waiting. So yeah, we rarely play together, but whatever. When we do play together, it's fucking awesome. Anyways, back to this.
With 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X for unified system memory and VRAM. The headset will have models with 256 gigabytes or 1 terabyte of storage, and the frame also has a micro SD card slot, so you can use that to install more games or software. It has pancake lenses, 2160 by 2160 resolution LCDs, a 120Hz refresh rate, and a 144Hz experimental mode. FOV is up to 110 degrees. The 4 exterior cameras are monochrome but IR sensitive, and the headset itself contains exterior IR illumination. Valve uses 2 internal eye tracking cameras for its new foveated streaming feature that we'll get into momentarily, and audio deploys 4 speakers built into the head strap and 2 microphones in the headset. Valve also has a PCIe Gen 4 custom connector at the front of the headset for future accessories or attachments, potentially they say for third parties to use, with an example given of support for a color camera. The headset can also stream games directly from a PC using a 6 GHz included USB router, bypassing traditional wireless routers for the rest of your network and communicating straight between the PC and the frame itself. The controllers have capacitive sensing for finger tracking.
Ransan32, you're one of those people that really dislikes competitive games. I used to like competitive games, but it's just like I still do. It's just those games, they're starting to suck. Like I used to play Call of Duty Warzone. Like it was only good when it first came out for like the first 3 months, and then it just all started going to shit. I'd be like, it pissed me off. So I'd be like, you know what? Fucking, they gotta fix this. The cheating and these, like, you could definitely tell there's a lot of fucking people either using software and shit to cheat, to be able to shoot through fucking clearly mountains or whatever, to shoot you from the other side of the map, stuff like that. But it's fun when you kill them. But it's like, come on, like. At a certain point, I just started getting pissed off. Like, I don't even know if I'm good or not. I don't even know if I'm improving my skills or not, because there's so much cheating out there, or so many like bugs or whatever. Or the game itself is it's not what it once was. Like, it basically started copying Fortnite and like becoming this unserious game. Anyways, that's just an example of one competitive game that I used to love to play, but don't anymore. Anyways, I don't like playing those games. I prefer like story mode, either solo. I do like co-op games because you get to play with someone else that you know. But I want it to be optional. I want it to have that as a feature, not as a main go-to for the game. If you get my drift.
TMR thumbsticks, which are identical to the ones used in the new Steam controller, and a full set of standard controller buttons. They take regular AA batteries, and to quote Valve's spec sheet, they have, quote, full 6 degrees of freedom tracking and IMU support, end quote. Now, the Frames SoC is an ARM solution, so an ARM solution in a VR head mount device is not that interesting, but SteamOS on ARM is pretty interesting, because thus far it's been on x86. So Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 8650 SoCs are used for the Steam Frame. These are on a 4-nanometer process. And as for SteamOS on ARM, that includes ARM native compilations of DXVK and of VK D3D or Vulkan D3D. And it's also the first time that SteamOS is meaningfully expanding outside of handhelds, at least from any kind of first-party positioning, and into, for example, VR headsets. Now, the Steam Machine's also going to get a SteamOS, but that's built for x86. So it's a Zen 4 solution, BGA, as we talked about earlier in this video. The Proton translation layer for SteamOS software compatibility was already pretty successful for Valve. They put a lot of effort into that. This is using... a
lot of the Windows games I don't even play or don't really care to go back. Even though I spent money on them, I don't really care to go back and play those games on Windows. There's a lot of motherfuckers that are complaining about not being able to play Fortnite, which they don't want to go to Linux, because like virtual machines, learn how to do it. ChatGPT it, Gemini, just use AI or Google shit. Find a nerd, find your IT fucking expert to do it for you. I don't know, pay them to help you out. Just do it. You'll just spend less money on that than getting Windows 11 and fucking playing these games. Goddamn, a Fortnite or what is it, Overwatch, or these stupid ass little kid games and shit. They're not kid games, whatever. But the majority of people who complain are kids, right? But I don't know, whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna piss a lot of people. I'm an adult. I love playing Fortnite. I used to play Fortnite too, for a little bit. I quickly got good. Not expert, but I quickly got good, and then it just stopped being fun playing with console players. Whatever. My nephew would kick my ass in that game, though. But horrible at strategy. He likes going on his own, going Rambo style, and then he ends up getting downed by, like, he gets a lot of kills, but it's like, we're supposed to try to get first place. That's what we're trying to do. If you're trying to, like, we're a team. We have a team for a reason. Like, you gotta learn how to be a team player. He's not a real good team player. He just likes the bragging rights of being able to kill a bunch of people. But he's probably killing a bunch of like other kids that don't know how to play. So I don't know. Whatever. You said you're not interested in VR, but I think ARM to x86 translation they use for the VR headset is cool. So yeah, you're another nerd like me. I'm taking a freaking class on computer science on machine learning as well, and then we have to use A. I still don't entirely understand it. I'm more focused on like trying to get the assignments. I'm taking 24 units this semester, and I'm gonna pass those classes with at least a B. But I'm more focusing on taking the or doing the homework, completing them, than actually. Sadly, I want to learn it and retain the knowledge, but it's just going in and leaving just as quick. I'm gonna do my due diligence and like fucking learn shit, but I am putting too much on my plate as well with these new projects and stuff. But anyways, I'll eventually get back to it. Anyways, yeah, let's get back to the video.
Significant development resources for FEX, F-E-X, emulation, in addition to the Proton translation layer.
Similarly to how for Steam Deck we had to make a lot of advances in Proton to make sure that was really solid before Steam Deck could be an actual viable product. For Steam Frame, we did a lot of work on FEX, which we see as a
is it a translation layer?
It's actually an emulation layer.
Oh, okay.
So it's like emulating the instruction set from x86 to ARM.
Cool. Okay.
And then so it's actually doing both Proton and FEX so that you can play x86 games standalone.
As for software compatibility, like the existing DEC verified program, Valve will be introducing a Steam Frame verified program specifically for running games locally on the Frame.
In a similar way where when we launched Steam Deck, we had a lot of work to do on Proton, and as time went on, we patched a lot of the holes, and then it became more of a...
Don't worry about it. Ransom32, this is helping me not get copyrighted, and I won't get in trouble for like playing the whole fucking video straight up, like, because you're not supposed to do that. Some YouTube the rules and regulations of like copyright and all that stuff, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, you're actually saving me from if I can't come up with something to talk about, and then I just keep on watching this video instead. It's kind of a no-no in the YouTube community. Oh no, or whatever in this streaming community. I don't know. I need to pause every now and then and purposely speak so I don't get fucking in trouble before I even monetize my account. You're saving me by giving me things to talk about.
Surprised when a game didn't work through Proton on Steam Deck.
Right.
We're in the same process with FEX as well. So like right now we're pleasantly surprised that so many games are just working, and we know that
it won't be the case later on
once
I get a shit ton of subscribers and a lot of like feedback and a lot of chatters.
Valve also told us that developers will be able to ship VR APKs on Steam, and for games with multiple versions, Steam will automatically choose the appropriate build, but it can be overridden. Valve stated, quote, APKs can also be side-loadable, just like any non-Steam applications on Steam Deck. We expect that VR APKs that don't leverage proprietary APIs to just work, end quote. The micro SD card slot should theoretically allow for seamless library swapping between other SteamOS devices and the Frame, like the Steam Deck and feasibly the Steam Machine, on a single SD card. This is something that Valve confirmed, as we talked about earlier, for the Deck to Machine sort of transition, and it should work the same to the Frame. The only thing we're not 100% sure about there is the architectural change between them, with ARM coming into the mix. So we'll still have to test this stuff, of course. Valve is pushing the use your headset as your display approach, even for non-VR content. Thus far, nobody, including Apple even, has been able to fully sell a mainstream audience on this approach.
So...
goddamn. Whatever, it's almost over. No, it's not over. Okay, what commercial is this about? Alright, what is this about? Pills? I'm not gonna skip it just so I can prove a point. What is this? And it's not Spravato Excilataminin 28 grams of nasal spray of what? What the fuck? Irrelevant as hell. Anyways.
I would say Steam Frame kind of represents a fundamental shift in the way that we think about VR. Rather than being a PC VR accessory for your PC VR titles, we see Steam Frame as just a new way to experience your entire Steam library, whether it's VR or non-VR. And that high-level decision kind of filtered down into all of the product-level decisions that we made for the product.
For the PC to headset streaming, Valve's big advantage here over Meta is that it has a gigantic library with years and years worth of
what I
games
said before
to run on actual gaming PCs. So doing that and then streaming it to the frame makes sense for them.
Every single device comes with a dedicated wireless adapter. This is a USB 3.
Okay.
And it's a 6 gigahertz native router.
That thing is a fat boy, though.
Between your PC and
thick
this
as
device.
fuck.
So there's a whole bunch of channels, and that allows us high bandwidth, high robustness, and low latency. And it's a dedicated link just between these two devices.
Right.
Similarly, this headset has 2 radios and antennas, which means we can guarantee that one of those antennas is locked off to this dedicated connection on 6 gigahertz, while Wi-Fi is talking on the 5 gigahertz spectrum simultaneously to your local router.
The dedicated wireless dongle isn't a new idea, but Valve has planned around it from the ground up. Valve told us that, quote, the Steam Frame headset is Wi-Fi 7 capable, and when paired to your existing Wi-Fi, other streaming features, including foveated streaming and simultaneous 5 and 6 gigahertz, are still available and work great, end quote. So it's not strictly required to use the wireless dongle. Alongside the dedicated wireless link, the second piece of Valve's pitch for local streaming is foveated streaming. The naming is inspired from foveated rendering, which is a related concept that uses eye tracking to deprioritize the screen area in your periphery and render it at a lower resolution. This allows for increased frame rate, and a high FPS remains critical for VR headsets to avoid motion sickness in users. Now, historically, when VR first launched, the target was 90 Hz, 90 FPS, to avoid any sort of really bad feeling.
Another thing, it just makes more sense that Steam, Valve, which is in the gaming community industry, that they create game consoles or PCs, gaming-esque devices, but like Facebook, Meta making gaming type stuff does, like, I don't know, it works, but it makes more sense coming from them than from fucking Zuckerberg, right?
The devices these days can go a little bit lower, but still higher is going to be a lot better with VR in particular. So these technologies are used to focus the sort of density of image quality to where the user's looking. Now, eye tracking updates every 8 to 12 milliseconds according to Valve, although the hardware could go faster. So this meets Valve's goal, they say, for stream quality while reducing power usage.
Why do they have an old white lady? The race doesn't matter. Anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. There's no fucking reason other than they need a, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just pointing it out just to be an asshole. The lady's old as hell trying to play video games and shit. But hopefully she's a gamer. Whatever. I'm gonna get to that age anyway, so maybe I shouldn't be a hypocrite.
And getting the responsiveness they say they want. When we looked at Valve's debug tool, the company shows user eye position, which is pretty cool, and reflects the area of highest quality rendering based on that. We tested this for a minute or two at the end of the session. We couldn't immediately notice any lag in the render quality shifting, although we haven't had time to actually analyze it, of course. The software also showed where in the frame lifecycle and rendering pipeline the most time was allocated. It harkens back to some of our talks about simulation time error, animation error, and just frame life cycles with Tom Peterson. Here's what Valve said about foveated streaming.
So what we're doing is at the streaming layer, we're calling it foveated streaming, where the areas that you're looking, we send essentially the full high quality content at the highest
and then
fidelity
everything
we
else
can.
is blurry.
And then for everywhere else you're not looking, we're borrowing those bits and also throwing them at that place where you're looking. So for instance, if we had, say, 1/10 of the pixel area is where you're looking, which is a very common number, then that's effectively a 10x multiplier in effective bandwidth,
energy consumption,
quality, as well as reduced latency, because we can steer all of those bits to where you're looking. And that only works because the eye tracking is fast enough that as you look around the scene, we send the bits to where you're going to look before you land there.
Foveated rendering is already an established technology. Without that sort of baseline, it'd be hard to believe that foveated streaming could be reactive enough to not have some kind of downside. Now again, in the really quick testing we did, couldn't see any change, any difference in the image quality, meaning when I moved my eyes from here to here, it didn't feel like anything was left behind in that transition. And for people familiar with foveated rendering, that should be a pretty familiar experience. We still need to test it more, of course, but it looks promising so far. Now, there are a ton of variables involved with the performance here. That includes the performance of the host PC itself, the frame rate, things of that nature. But we did ask Valve for kind of a ballpark end-to-end total system latency when streaming, obviously contingent upon the frame rate, the performance of the PC. They were giving us a number of 10 to 20 milliseconds, and that is total end-to-end in a good use case condition, meaning that the thing we were trying to focus down on was the actual slowest link being potentially is it the streaming itself to the device. And so 10 to 20 milliseconds was the target there. That includes encoding, transmission, and decoding on the other side. The target bandwidth is 250 megabits per second, and regardless of whether the headset is running wireless or wired, that's the baseline for that loose 10x multiplier that they mentioned in effective quality that Valve is claiming. Everyone seems pretty confused about the Quest 3's maximum theoretical bandwidth, so part of Valve's advantage here is that it's shipping the streaming hardware with the headset, so everyone gets a consistent high-performance experience, which is for streaming, it doesn't matter what router you have or whether your PC has a wired internet connection. The foveated streaming is also a system-level solution, so that means there is no additional developer support required. They do not have to explicitly build this in and support it for games. It's just there because it is a system-wide thing that's already in place. So in contrast to previous Valve headsets, the frame...
I just want to point out that, like all these YouTubers, including myself, give me credit for what I'm about to say. The only ad was just an advertisement for his own company or whatever. He did it towards the beginning of the video, and so far, like, pretty much the whole video has been information on what the title or the video is actually supposed to be about, right? Now, he gets more credit than me because I'd be going on a tangent and shit, right? But he's talking more about the hardware and the specs and all this stuff that has to do with Steam's or Valve's new hardware. If you go watch other videos, they have a shit ton of ads and stuff. You watch their videos, yeah, they're good at attention grabbing, but they're also good at selling you shit or taking your attention away from the important shit, right? I just wanted to point that out. Gamer Nexus knows his shit. He obviously knows a lot of the stuff. I don't even understand this stuff. But like watching videos like him over and over, I don't know, like it gives you a sense of like you're not entirely wasting your time watching his long videos, right? Hopefully I get to that level of knowledge because I don't know shit right now.
It's a standalone battery-powered unit with inside-out tracking. No base stations, no mandatory wires.
Incomparison. I know some stuff.
It ships with a 21.6 watt-hour lithium-ion battery. Valve also informed us that the Steam Frame hardware is not cross-compatible with the Index and the Vive at this time. Valve claims that power consumption from nominal to peak loads can range from approximately 7 watts when streaming to more than 20 watts when running games on the headset itself. Power is heat, of course, so at 20 watts, Valve's thermal solution comes into play more. The headset is separated into 2 modular units, the core and the head strap. The face gasket is attached with magnets, so the grossest part of the headset should be fairly easy to replace or take off and clean. The core is fastened to the headset with 3 toolless clips. The core contains the optics, the compute, and the cameras. Meanwhile, the head strap contains the audio and the battery. And because everybody with a 3D printer is looking for a problem to solve, we're pretty confident that people will make quick use of the modularity in the design. We got a detail on the frame's thermal solution and how it's supposed to keep the device cool. We'll, of course, have to test that and keep the user's face cool. But we'll have most of that in an immediate follow-up because we went pretty deep on it with some of the engineers there. It's a really fun video. That's going to be a separate one on the channel, so subscribe to catch that. We're going to do some basics, though, for this one. The short version for today is that there are 2 heat pipes flanking the silicon with the PCB area at the backside of the BGA package cleared to allow rear heat pipe contact and conduction through the PCB. Both of these heat pipes, there's one on each side of the SoC, route to a fin stack at the top of the headset near the brow line, and then there's ventilation pointed up, out, and away from the user. There's a single...
I'm not going to lie. after I finish watching this video, I'm gonna stop streaming. So if you guys want to leave, whoever's watching this on YouTube or Rumble, you guys could either skip ahead or stop watching if you're live. It's just, again, Gamer Nexus video on Valve Steam Machine, Desktop Steam OS, Steam Frame VR, and controller with engineering discussion. Gamer Nexus, subscribe. Am I subscribed? Yeah, I am. Alright.
Custom blower fan in the core module center that's governed by thermistors across the PCB in addition to chip sensors.
Thank you for following.
Hotspots, but that's not necessarily a problem here.
The display behaves really well when it gets warm. It's actually a benefit.
Okay.
One of the things you want in VR is fast transition times because we run at such high frame rates. I haven't explicitly said it, but we work on the low end from 72 all the way up to 144 hertz.
Okay.
And the best way we're able to get those fast transition times at the higher frame rates is through the warmth of the device.
Okay.
So you can go too far, of course, right? Like a lot of heat.
Right.
This is an LCD system. A lot of heat in an LCD isn't good. But there's this happy medium in between where the device is warmer than ambient and can therefore achieve really fast times.
Valve provided justification for LCD over OLED, and that came down to what they said was, quote, FOV, iBox, cost, persistence, and weight, end quote. And to avoid blurring, the duty cycle for the LCD panels is a flat 8% at all frame rates, meaning that at 120 hertz with 8.3 millisecond frame times, for example, the illumination period is 0.67 milliseconds per frame. Sound is provided by 4 16mm drivers, that's 2 per ear, and Valve says that these have been tuned to cancel out vibrations within the headset.
The thing that's really interesting is when you integrate audio into a sensitive piece of equipment like the core module, where there's all sorts of tracking that's happening. The vibrations can be a limiting factor in terms of how loud the system can get. And so we've designed it with 2 speakers per side. They're actually oriented in different locations, in different orientations, so that they can cancel the vibrations at the IMU and the core while actually still doubling the amount of sound that the user is getting.
Okay. Now, as with thermals, we have a separate deep dive coming up on the acoustics. So Joy from Valve's team, who you just saw in that clip, had a lot of information to share here on the acoustic solution, on the speakers. We're going to include that with our separate thermal video because it's basically just like a ton of hardware-specific information without getting into the sort of the actual use cases of it. It's really cool, though, and we'll put that up separately. Headphones can be supported by Bluetooth and 3.5mm adapters. And as for the controllers, Valve claims 40 hours of battery life. Depends on the AA's you use. Of course, you can use rechargeable.
Oh, wait, he's mentioning it. I was going to mention it. Rechargeable, AA or AAA or just any battery. You could get them on Amazon. The ones with Type-C like input. Like I use them for my remotes and stuff. And then they come with like 2-way Type-C. And then I just use my old Samsung adaptive fast charger for it, and then I charge like 2 batteries at one time when I run out of juice on my remotes. I use that for my Oculus Quest fucking remotes and my TV remote. Anyways.
If you want, and the controllers look similar to the Quest 3s at a glance, although Valve emphasizes, quote, input parity with traditional gamepad, end quote, which is part of its push to play regular non-VR games in VR. Basically, you get all the normal controller buttons in the normal places. Also, the capacitive grip sensing has a limited gradient for the fingers and the on-off.
It turns all games to Wii games or VR games. Make less people obese.
Off sensing for the
including
thumb. We haven't yet tested the index for comparison.
I don't think I ever got to that level
finger
yet.
Tracking is a differentiating feature of the index. Valve has taken a third stab at
Actually,
VR.
I
This
think
is
I
a
have,
second stab at
technically.
Steam Machines, Steam OS, Steam Controller, and arguably the Steam Link is kind of reincarnated in here in some capacity. It feels justified in the wake of the Deck's success, but as we understand it, Valve's been working on the frame since at least about 2019, according to one of the engineers we spoke to. So it's interesting context because that means Valve was working on that before the Steam Deck launched, and before the pandemic era VR boom, and also before the launch of Half-Life Alyx.
I have the game.
The
I
frame
have
should
not
be
played
shipping
it
to
yet.
developers immediately, if not already.
Goddamn, I gotta
sometime in the near
play
future.
these
Up
games.
next, the new Steam controller, which is not called the Steam Controller 2, follows Valve's previous Steam controller, which was also named Steam Controller, But this Steam controller memory holds that Steam controller because it's overriding it with the same name, because that Steam controller was dumped on mass for $5. The new controller, not called the Controller 2, uses Valve's dual touchpad input and significantly repositions and reshapes the controller ergonomics versus the original Steam controller. Valve said to us that it benefits from the deck's popularity and showed that controller key mappings can transfer directly to this controller. The new Steam controller can connect to anything running Steam or the Steam Link app and connects via the controller puck for wireless. There's also Bluetooth or USB directly. The controller contains a lithium-ion battery that can be recharged through the puck or USB. The thumbsticks are TMR and have capacitive sensing. There's a gyro with grip sensing and what Valve calls, quote, more advanced and powerful motors for high-definition rumble.
See, like, the old Steam Deck had gyro in it, and it was, like, the first time I've actually, not witnessed, but felt or ever used gyro in a remote control, and that shit was awesome. It's just, like, it took a while to kind of get used to the gyro and, like, using it in games. It kind of felt like cheating because you can make those micro adjustments in game and stuff. Like, somehow you get that muscle memory and you could, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It was just extremely satisfying because I remember there's a lot of people. I was not one of them, but there was a lot of people, like, when I was a kid, we played the Nintendo 64, and the freaking Nintendo looks like a M, right? But like the middle finger's longer. But anyways, they'd be fucking moving the remote, and I'd be like, why the fuck are you like trying to turn the Mario Kart wheel with your remote? You just have to use the analog thing. But I don't know, gyro, fucking, it's a thing now, and I just want to make that connection.
In the grips. As for the inputs, they completely replicate the inputs found on the Steam Deck minus the touchscreen. The Steam controller puck is a dedicated USB dongle that connects to the device running Steam, so probably your computer in most situations, and it can connect to up to 4 Steam controllers per puck, and this is both spiritually and literally a successor to the original Steam controller dongle, in that Valve told us that the wireless protocol comes...
We need to start creating more games like back then that you could play on the same console, same PC, same Steam Deck, with other people that you live with, right? So let's say someone can't afford the Steam Deck, someone can't or doesn't want to spend money on it because they don't trust it or whatever, but you bought it and you want to, like, convince them to, like, give it a chance, yada yada, or whatever. You guys are playing video games together. We need to go back to making games that are, if they're multiplayer, to be able to play them on the same console, like connect multiple controllers, right? But the game devs need to be able to utilize that ability again, and the game devs that do, the gaming companies that do, they're gonna gain all the people that are not trusting these more not popular, like these game development companies that they're losing fans or losing customers. Like the new ones, hopefully they utilize that. But I don't know, it's an idea. I want to, if I get into the game dev and create games, I want to hopefully learn how to do it and then implement that in games so that you could play them offline. You don't need to play them or connect to the internet to play them. Like, you could download them and keep them in your USB drive if you pay for them, whatever. You could have them, you could take it wherever you want, whatever, play it wherever, not closed off like they're doing with these digital games or licensed games, or just kind of bridge the gap between modern and old, like cartridges, CDs that you'd be able to carry with you once you purchase them. I don't know. It's gonna cost money, but they're gonna regain lost customers if they start doing more consumer-friendly stuff. I don't know. It's an idea.
From the original controller. Bluetooth is still an option, but it has its downsides.
So if you add multiple devices, they share the bandwidth, and then when that bandwidth runs out, you have issues with lag and dropout. Yeah.
But also, it's just different PCs have different Bluetooth capabilities, different RF environments. Just that it's more about the consistency than anything. Like a device with good Bluetooth will do really well. It's just that the consistent device to device and the consistency of environment which really comes into effect.
One of the more interesting things to us was the way Valve's antenna design works for the Steam controller.
One of the things for like ESD, when you have to go through compliance on a product, you have to zap it with the ESD gun, make sure that it's going to be good.
Electrostatic discharge.
With our antenna design, we landed on a design that solves the cost problem as well as ESD, because the antenna is basically grounded.
Oh, okay.
So if you hit it with ESD, it doesn't blow out the front end of the chip.
Cool.
So that was something that we learned on Index, and we brought that in for here.
Okay. So cost and also just functional.
Cost, functionality, and it actually gives us, we say we have a 5-meter range by getting the antenna away from everything else. The controller has a lot of stuff all packed in there. So where do you put the antenna where your hands aren't going to be?
Yeah, right.
Because you're always, and there's lots of different ways to hold a controller. Like if you hold the claw, right?
Yeah.
Where's the antenna? Well, I'm blocking it. So.
Where does it end up if we look at the actual controller body?
The bottom or
where does
the back portion?
So the antenna, you can see the thumbsticks are here, the antenna's there. So it's kind of right in the ideal spot where you're not putting your finger up here in normal gameplay.
Now, a question we had here was if you have
now there's some weirdos that do
hub for the controllers, is there any concern of latency or dropout or other issues as a result of 4 devices just sort of sharing the same connection ultimately? And Valve claimed approximately 8 milliseconds of latency with the wireless connection to the puck, as they call it, but they did emphasize that performance should not worsen as more controllers are connected, up to, again, 4 for one puck. The Steam machine actually has the same functionality built in, basically, where it's got a dedicated antenna separate from the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth antennas for connecting up to 4 Steam controllers, and those are mounted to the heatsink, which kind of gives them the best possible positioning in the Steam machine. Now, the puck also functions as a magnetic charger with pogo pins. Valve says its conservative estimate for battery life is 35 hours. The battery is a lithium-ion pack. We asked about user serviceability and repairability of the controller in general, but specifically getting access to the battery if someone wanted to replace it. Valve said that it is intended to be user serviceable in the sense that you can get into everything with a screwdriver. They didn't talk about any plans to provide parts or anything like that, but it sounds like it's at least not hostile towards the user if you want to open it. In addition to the touchpad haptics already found on the Steam Deck.
Wait, was that an 8-bit dough? Because I had that remote.
No, in addition to the touchpad haptics already found on the Steam Deck, the controller contains more advanced haptics as well.
One example that helps is think of it like speakers. So like some speakers have really wideband performance and like they're pretty flat for a big frequency range. Some speakers don't, right? They are like a bass that only operates in kind of very narrow frequency band. And so basically what we have here is something it's a linear motor that has a wider bandwidth so that it can replicate those higher frequency and different frequency waveforms better. So it's a better, higher fidelity speaker in some ways, just in the haptics world.
Valve was also clearly proud of its TMR or tunnel magnetoresistance thumbsticks, which sounds like something that Magneto invented. And these are the popular successor to Hall effect sticks.
And you can see these thumbsticks. One of the things that, Hall sensor thumbsticks have been a big thing in the industry. TMR is kind of new to the scene. It solves some of the power problems that Hall had, and keeping the...
I don't know what TMR stands for. I keep forgetting to look it up. So, what is... Yeah, ChatGPT, fuck it. Let's see. All right. TMR in remote controls or game controller connects usually means a timer, but depending on the device, it can mean 3 different things. TMR, transmission mode register, RF remotes. TMR, time repeat setting, TV AC remotes. TMR, toggle mode remote, rare gaming usage. Alright, use radio frequency remotes or controllers. Okay. 2.4 gigahertz modules defines how the remote transmits signals with pulse width, repeat timing, modulation behavior. Usually only see this in engineering manuals, not consumer controllers. 2. TMR time repeat settings. Some universal remotes and AC remotes use TMR as a simple timer function. Turn off after X minutes, turn on after X minutes. This is common in AC heater, humidifier, and fan remotes. Or the 3rd TMR, toggle mode remote, rare gaming usage. Some documentation abbreviates toggle mode features as TMR, meaning a button acts as a toggle instead of momentary. This is uncommon and usually only found in niche gamepad firmware. So I think he was talking about this version right here. If you're asking about specific controller or emulator, tell me the mod on showcase. Whatever. This is how I learn shit. Okay? AI is a better teacher than teachers,
the
professors, whatever.
Are these?
Hopefully the info is correct though.
Are they customized for the
AI can hallucinate and
we
give you the
work
wrong
with external
answers.
suppliers, and like we're not fully integrating the thumbstick into like the mechanical housings.
Okay.
But yeah, we're using off-the-shelf suppliers for these.
The controller contains a 6-axis IMU and capacitive grip sensing that can dynamically turn gyro controls on and off. And then the controller also contains LED markers in it, so if you're wearing a Steam frame and using that controller, it can detect its positioning. All right, so that's kind of the basics of what you need to know. We do have additional follow-ups. So like I said, we have a separate acoustic power and thermal engineering discussion on the Frame VR headset. I would encourage checking that out, even if you're not really into VR, because it is pretty interesting from just an engineering standpoint. And then we have a separate deck video coming up as well. We're excited to do the testing mostly because the Steam Machine specifically is basically exactly what we are set up for here, where we do all the pre-built reviews, and it's the same process. So I'd like to do the Schlieren imaging testing on it. We probably run acoustics in the hemi-anechoic chamber. We could hook it up for extensive thermal, all that stuff. It should be a pretty fun test. Whether or not the device is any good, I don't know. We don't know right now, but we've got a lot we can benchmark on it. The most interesting thing other than that is probably going to be the OS in a more official Valve sort of authorized or backed way hitting desktop. We're already testing Bazzite, but if SteamOS gets a more proper deployment on desktop, then we would definitely add that to the round for a suite of testing as well. So early 2026, it sounds like for all this, pretty early announcement in that regard. We asked why. They said they're mostly announcing it this early because they're going to start trying to get people into the dev kit program. And 2 things. 1, as soon as they do that, everything will leak. And then 2, I think they are trying to let people, game developers, know that dev kits will be available for a lot of this stuff. So anyway, prices and final release date are TBD, but it should be early 2026 for a lot of this. And that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Check back for the other coverage
Good video.
from the event we flew out to. And you can subscribe for all of that. Go to patreon.com/GamersNexus to support us directly, or check out yesterday's video where I talk about the time I spoke to the Secret Service, or at least someone from there who was very interested in, like, I won't spoil it. Check out the video. It's linked.
Okay, he said this video concept by U.S. Secret Service and the AI surveillance-centered dystopia. Okay. Valve goes hard. Steam Deck OLED review and benchmarks versus Asus ROG. I mean, I don't think that interests me to watch it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it for you guys, and we'll watch it together. I don't know, like kind of like a watch party. This is a new podcasting type of video or live stream that I'm doing. without any editing involved, for to save time, to be lazy, and also for authenticity, because somehow there's no authenticity nowadays in a lot of things. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for my video, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if not, after I stop streaming, give me some constructive criticism. You guys like talking shit about people. I know you guys do. Go ahead, leave them in the comments. I don't care. I really don't care about what other people think about me. So have at it. Whatever. You guys you like arguing with each other in the comments below, go ahead and do that. But make sure you guys put some comments. I don't know. I don't know. It's only gonna attract more activity to my YouTube. So I don't mind it. Anyways, remember, subscribe, follow, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, YouTube. All links are in the about sections, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.